Shot blocked in front, Salak looking for the goal. Yuri Pastuka ties it. 2-2 as Yuri Pastuka. The giveaway. Palmer has it. Palmer scores. Alonson standing beside Erickson. He's pumping the crowd up. Let's miss. It's getting ready to go down. They have it back behind the net. On the attack here, inside the line, Lathan. Four shot, hit wide, and rebound. He couldn't get the far play. Goes around the corner. Save made there. LaBelle powers his way up the left wing. Top of the near side circle, fires one. They score! Rolling Kramer across the shot in front. He scores! Roman Kramer wins the game in overtime. 4-3 the final. Hello and welcome inside the Raising Cane's River Center in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. Twin City Thunderbirds hockey. Kendall Grayson with you as always, and thank you as always everyone for tuning in and spending your evening with the Thunderbirds. It's an 8:05 puck drop tonight, 7:05 here in the Central Time Zone. There will be 3 games between these two teams here on the weekend, and we've already played one of them. Last night, a 3-2 victory for Twin City here behind enemy lines to open up play on the weekend. The Thunderbirds fell behind by 2 goals back in the first period last night. The Zydeco's Matej Palfi and Tyler Larwood scored in the opening frame, just 21 seconds apart with back-to-back even-strength goals. But in the second period last night, the Flow second period, that is where the game turned for the Thunderbirds. They were able to find an even-strength scoring play from Nate Keeley, also got an even-strength goal from Roman Kramer. Then a power play goal from Connor Craig to go up 3-2. And that was the final scoring play of the evening for Twin City last night. The Connor Craig power play goal was the game winner, as there was no scoring in the third period. So it was a 3-2 final last night. The Thunderbirds outshot the Zydeco by 10 at 39-29, including 17-6 in the middle period. That's really where the game turned, as they outscored the Zydeco 3-0 in the second period and outshot them 17-6 on the scoreboard. So the Thunderbirds off and running here on the weekend, off and flying, if you will, with an opening win to start this important 3-game series. The only time these two teams will see each other this season in these back-to-back games on the weekend. We'll have one more for you here tomorrow. It's a 4:05 start tomorrow, 3:05 here in the Central Time Zone, but 4:05 back home in Winston-Salem tomorrow. We've got an 8:05 start for you tonight. That's on the way. All right, so it was a 3-2 win here last night, and we'll take a look at the schedule. Here's the games going on from around the FPHL. It's Blue Ridge on the road to take on Danbury tonight. Port Huron will play host to Indiana. Columbus hosting Monroe. PD hosting Athens, and Binghamton on the road to play Watertown. That Rock Lobsters and Ice Cats game, very important as we know, because we'll have a look at the standings, and it's the Ice Cats directly in front of the Thunderbirds. Now, PD got a point in a shootout loss last night, but the Thunderbirds here got 3 points for their win in regulation. So the 10-point deficit has now closed to 8 points. Twin City still has a game in hand. They have played one less game than PD. Now the Thunderbirds are going to even that up tomorrow because there's no games across the FPHL tomorrow. We have the only game tomorrow afternoon, but then a game on Wednesday that PD will play against Athens will put the Thunderbirds right back up a game with a game in hand in the schedule. So the gap is now closed to 8 points, 63 points for PD, 55 points for Twin City. At the top of the Continental Division side, it's Athens with 92. Also, Monroe with 92 points. Athens has the tiebreaker. And then right behind the Thunderbirds the team that we will see tonight, Baton Rouge. They are still alive mathematically, 39 points. The only team that's been eliminated so far from playoff consideration, Biloxi, is there at the bottom with 20. And in front of the Ice Cats, in third place, is Columbus with 85 points. On the other side, in the Empire Division, it's the Binghamton Black Bears with 113 points. They've clinched a spot in the postseason. Port Huron right behind them with 81. Topeka with 69. Blue Ridge with 66. And then it's a drop back to 58 for Danbury as they are chasing Blue Ridge and Topeka for the final playoff spot in the Empire Division. Watertown in 6th with 44, and Indiana at the bottom of the Empire with 32. We'll have a look at the leaders between these two teams here in the matchup tonight. Zach White leading the way with 48 points. Josh LaBelle right behind with 37. And Roman Kramer also with 37 points. He scored his 18th goal of the season last night for number 18. The goaltenders are Boris Babick and Chad Purdy. Boris Babick enters tonight's game with a .908 save percentage on the season, and we do expect it to once again be Boris Babick who will start the game tonight. Bailey Stevens was very good on the other side. He picked up a loss last night. His save percentage is .892 on the season. A goal from Tyler Larwood in last night's game for the Zydeco, not enough, as he's now at 26 points on the season. Jake Cox ahead of him with 31. And also at the top for the Zydeco with 31 points is Narek Alexinian. So Alexinian leading the way along with teammate Jake Cox for the Baton Rouge Zydeco. I went through these last night, but some recent transactions have changed the look and the makeup of the roster for the Thunderbirds. We saw the debut this season of 3 players in last night's game. Dom Dumas, the former Thunderbird, and then Jack Johansson and Kaysen Gallant all played last night, coming over to the Thunderbirds in a transaction earlier this week that involved Gus Ford going the other way to the Athens Rock Lobsters. Ford serving a 2-game suspension, so he has not yet made his debut with Athens. Igor Ramanel traded to Biloxi, and Dion Demke was released on waivers. Michael Mania also released on waivers earlier this week. And so with the movement from the transactions, the roster now looks like this. At forward, Jacob Schnapp, Kaysen Gallant, John Butita, Jan Salak, Roman Kramer, Dom Dumas, Zach White, Nate Keeley, Chris Mott, and Yuri Pastuka. Pastuka will not play in tonight's game. On defense, Cade Hanley, Jack Johansson, Connor Craig, who scored a big goal in last night's game, the power play goal that ended up being the game winner for Craig, Matthew Garcia, Josh LaBelle, James Farmer, Troy Harwell, and the goaltenders are Boris Babick and Chad Purdy. We remind you that the Thunderbirds' next home game is NASCAR night, also Gatsby's Pub night, as they are the presenting sponsor of the night and the presenting sponsor of the St. Patrick's Day jerseys. The Thunderbirds will be giving away a poster, NASCAR-themed poster for every fan in attendance. And so get your tickets. That's coming up on Friday night, 7:35, the time of the puck drop. We also want to remind you about the upcoming skate-a-thon that's going on. Skate with Twin City Thunderbirds. And that is on March the 10th, and so that's now coming up very quickly on Tuesday. It will be from 10 a.m. to noon through the Winston-Salem Hockey Booster Club. So the skate-a-thon's coming up, and we want to remind you about that. The Thunderbirds have introduced gold standard pricing. Really good ticket deals available. 2 blue section tickets for $46, 2 red section tickets for $33, 2 white section tickets for $20.26. You can find out more on the homepage at TwinCityThunderbirds.com. NASCAR merchandise still available through the Flock Shop, and that was from the originally scheduled NASCAR night. But that merchandise, you've seen it now passed around, fans wearing them. It's been featured on the Cup of Joe segment, and really good-looking designs there. So we remind you that that merchandise is still available. All right, well, we are nearly ready to go, but we're going to step aside in our pregame show for a break, and we will come back for the call of period number 1 as we are nearly ready for puck drop here on this Saturday night. As we just had a worker on the ice experience a drop there. If you're watching on the video side, on the left side of the screen, I think he's all right. By the way, we're live tonight on YouTube, Facebook, Sportfy, and WTOB Radio, and ready to bring you another game, another road game here on the weekend for the Thunderbirds as they're about to face off against the Baton Rouge Zydeco. Okay, we'll take a break and be right back here with more Twin City Thunderbirds hockey. From James Farmers, who detected that pressure was going to be back behind him. He just chopped it away out of harm's way down behind the goal line. And eventually intercepted. Long stretch pass from Galante White, just picked off at center ice. Zydeco onside, looking for the game's opening scoring play. Shot on the way, and it goes in. That's the opening goal of tonight's game. The Zydeco will strike first here on the weekend. Well, Boris Babic had traffic in front of him, including his teammate, and I think he was screened. He did make a move towards it, but that was a low shot that I'm not sure ever made it off the ice, and it found a hole, and in it went.
Scoring!
And so the Zydeco are up by a goal.
Number 34, Jake.
And they announce the goal to Jake Cox, who let the shot go. Thunderbirds looking for it here as we have resumed. Chance onside, and going back to find it will be Chris Mott. Far side, they throw it in front, they score again, it's 2-0. And now all of a sudden, the Thunderbirds have allowed 2 in the last few seconds. We are almost to the halfway point of the first period. 10-10 left to go in the first. And the home team now up by a pair. Thunderbirds making changes. They had to wait to play it there. Butita was holding up. It would have been too many men. And so he paused for a moment. They turn it over to Butita. In front they go. Goal! 2-1. What a play. And it's number 2-1, Nate Keeley. All right, so there's the answer we were looking for. That one was quick. Butita was open, and he probably could have fired that, but I think he realized that Keeley was going to drag the goaltender way out as he was completely leaning the wrong way, trying to deal with the advance from Butita.
Scoring at 2 minutes, 47
They'll announce the goal to Keeley.
Period for the Twin City Thunderbirds.
And this is fired right into the visitors' bench, and so that'll bring us to a break. Chopped out to center. Thunderbirds have the long change here in the second period from the defensive end, and they'll get Gallant off the ice. Onside is White with it. White goes across. Kramer scores! Tie game! 2-2 with 5:20 left to play in the Flow second period. Great puck movement and vision there from Zach White to get along to Roman Kramer. Kramer has scored for the 18th time this season for number 18. That's the 61st goal of his career. Keeley stands back up, 13 seconds left, and the Zydeco have found it. Here they come in from center. Twin City looking to shut it down to the blue line. The pass was blocked in the corner. They center, taken aside by LaBelle. We're in the final seconds, back behind the goal. The game is over. Twin City wins it. The final score is 3-2. It's the 19th win of the season. And the Thunderbirds are now 19-22-1. What a day. Rock and roll, let's go!
If you want an experience that wakes you up, a place where you can scream to your heart's delight, go ahead. No one will hear you anyway.
Yeah, let's go, baby!
Here, you don't just watch. You feel. Come as you are and have a damn good time.
Who is your daddy?
That rumble you hear, that growl you feel, that's us.
Hell yeah, boys!
Kendall Grayson here with head coach Steve Harrison for our weekend preview. Ahead of a busy weekend of hockey here coming up on the road, Coach. 3 games against Baton Rouge. Baton Rouge, an opponent that, like Watertown last weekend, you're only going to see them here for one weekend. You won't see them for the rest of the season. What are your thoughts here coming up on this big 3-game series?
Well, they just won a couple games in Topeka there last weekend. And, I talked to the coach there about a week ago, and he said we're playing well right now. He likes the way things are gelling. And apparently they work hard, and that's what I think it's going to be a little like Watertown. They're going to work their tail off, and we're going to have to be prepared for 3 60-minute games, and we need points this weekend. We can't sugarcoat it anymore. We need some points, and we're going to have to do whatever we have to do to be successful here. So guys are going to have to pour their hearts out, and I like practice this week. I think obviously. It's well documented that we've had a few changes here and that, but I love the atmosphere. The practice has been spirited, and as I said, we're going to go down there and give it our best shot and do whatever we have to do to come away with as many points as we can and stay in the hunt.
And I was going to ask you about practice because when we had the Coach Harry show, the new players were on their way. So far, I know it's been just a couple of skates. How have they looked so far?
Well, they've come in. They've brought a lot of energy. A lot of times, you get traded like that, and you kind of want to look good, I guess, for the coach and the other players too. Mostly, I think for the coach a little bit, but I think more for all the other players are like, what's he really like, or how is he? Geez, he's pretty skilled, or whatever. So I think there's a little bit of feel out, but I loved it. It's been good. As I said, the guys have worked hard, and you worry about the gelling a little bit, but as I said, I think it'll come together. So, but no, I like it. As I said, we're going to go down there and do whatever we have to do to come home with as many points as we can.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you very much.
Flo Cadillac is a proud sponsor of the Thunderbirds. Visit 1400 South Stratford Road for a free test drive, or go online to flowcadillac.com to schedule a sales or service appointment.
Starting tonight for the Thunderbirds, on defense number 4, Jack Johansson. On defense number 11, James Farmer Valente. On forward number 10, Kason Galliant. And forward number 18, Roman Kramer. And forward number 20, Zach White. The Thunderbirds are coached by head coach Steve Harrison, assistant coach Damian Poole, and Billy Durham. Ron Harris, Kevin Turner, assistant coach.
And welcome back live inside Raising Cane's River Center here in Baton Rouge. It's a Saturday night showdown between the Thunderbirds and the Zydeco. Thunderbirds won it last night. The final score was 3-2. Game winner on the power play in the second period for Connor Craig. A massive scoring play after Nate Keeley and Roman Kramer had scored goals. The Thunderbirds fell behind by 2 goals in the first period. They came roaring back in period number 2, and the Thunderbirds win it by a final score of 3-2. It's time for the Geico of Winston-Salem starting lineup. The forward line, the top line that we saw last night, Kason Gallant with Roman Kramer and Zach White. That line will go out first. On defense, number 4 and number 11. That's number 4, Jack Johansson, with number 11, James Farmer, and number 35, Boris Babick, is in net. Babick with a 14-17-1 record this season. His all-time record in the FPHL is 49-24-8 following last night's game. And so that means he's now 1 win away from 50 in his FPHL career. And as I always like to say on the broadcast, we will find out together if he can accomplish that here tonight. The Thunderbirds are ready to go in the white sweaters. They are on the blue line. The starting players are out there. The entire team is on the bench. And now we just wait for the arrival of the Zydeco. We can see them standing and queuing up outside of the inflatable entrance in the corner that they have here. And now they turn the lights down, and we will soon see the entrance of the Zydeco. Well, we thank you as always for tuning in. Looking forward to this matchup. And again, we'll see if the Thunderbirds can win another one here on the road and continue to build points in the standings in the fight for fourth, looking to overtake the TD Ice Caps in the standings. Out-of-town scoreboard report. We have hockey to report already. And in a critical game on the out-of-town scoreboard report, the Athens Rock Lobsters have a 1-0 lead on the road against the PD Ice Caps. We will keep you updated as we always do. The Binghamton Black Bears with a 4-0 lead on the road in the first period against the Watertown Wolves. Columbus leading Monroe by a goal at 2-1. Port Huron with a 3-0 lead in the second period against Indiana. And in the second period, at Blue Ridge on the road, leading Danbury by a goal at 1-0. So our game will be the last game to begin here on this Saturday night. And so they are announcing the team. They will soon hit the ice here on this Saturday night. Thunderbirds will attack right to left in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. American Elevator Company presents the national anthem. And now it's time for the Zydeco to hit the ice. And here they come. So we'll find out who the goaltender will be. My guess is it will be Bailey Stevens again. He was very good last night.
On defense for the Zydeco, number 6, Steve Starting for the Zydeco forward, number 15.
So they continue to announce the starters here for the Zydeco. This is Twin City Thunderbirds hockey. We thank you for tuning in to the middle game here in the weekend. It's a 3-game series on the road. Thunderbirds won the first one last night. Final score was 3-2. And these two teams will hit the ice again tomorrow at 4:05 Eastern Time. Twin City returns home for a game against the Athens Rock Lobsters on Friday. Tickets available at TwinCityThunderbirds.com. And it will be Bailey Stevens, the starting goaltender for the Zydeco. And so now we pause and prepare for the national anthem presented by American Elevator. Kendall Grayson with you as always. Thanks so much for joining us as we're almost ready for the game tonight. We'll have a moment of silence first.
Action and prisoners of war. Brought to you by the Military Order of the Purple Heart, Baton Rouge, Chapter 177. Thank you. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please stand if you are able and remove your caps and join along for a playing of tonight's national anthem.
All right, and with that, we are nearly ready for the opening puck drop of tonight's game. It's the Pine Tree Tavern first period here on the broadcast. The Thunderbirds will attack right to left. We will have a ceremonial puck drop in the far side corner and then be ready for the matchup. So Twin City enters tonight's game with a record of 19-22-1. Baton Rouge lost a game in regulation for the 25th time this season last night, falling to 11-25-6. Same goaltending matchup between number 35, Boris Babick, and number 30, Bailey Stevens. Well, we thank you for joining us and tuning in. We'll see if the Thunderbirds can get off to a better start than what we saw from the team last night. They surrendered the opening 2 goals. And I'm sure they'd like to start the game a little bit better tonight. Ultimately, they got the result they wanted last night. Final was 3-2. Here we go. Zach White will take the opening face-off of tonight's game, and we are underway. Sit back and enjoy it. In behind the net of Boris Babick. As the Thunderbirds will go back to play it here in the defensive end immediately. Fouled by Zach White. Out to Kason Gallant. Gallant's onside, looking for his first as a Thunderbird, and he will drop it in the near side corner. They'll chase after it from there. And out towards center ice. We'll see if Twin City can battle back for it. It's offside, and so they call this one back at the blue line. 19:34 left to go in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. It was Nate Keeley, Roman Kramer, and Connor Craig who scored last night. Craig's power play goal is a 5-on-3 power play scoring play. And ultimately the game winner. Back here as the face-off was outside of the Thunderbirds' defensive territory. That's to our right in period number 1. Given away, Zydeco have it. They try to fire forward there, and it goes back into the near side corner, played by Farmer, right out in front of the goaltender, but Zach White was there to collect it and make a play on it. He charges ahead, dropped high in the air, as now we see Roman Kramer chasing after it. Back out to center he goes, just along the red line, and collected and played by Gallant. Back it goes to the defensive zone, and Josh LaBelle standing there in behind the goal. Boris Babick, he looks on. They'll look to fire this one out towards center. Right now it's still with LaBelle. LaBelle taking his time with 18:47 to play in period 1. Up the left wing, here's Jan Salak. Powers his way onside, has an option in front. They fire in on goal, but it's blocked. That was Dom Dumas looking for his first as a Thunderbird here in his second go-around with the team. Now it's back behind the net as Connor Craig will look to chase it down. High out towards center. Played ahead and on goal. Stevens elects to play this one just along the near side boards. Out towards center as Chris Mott try to fire a check there and goes back into the defensive zone. Collected by Garcia. So Matt Garcia standing behind the net. And he will wait as the Thunderbirds look to break it out. Jacob Schnapp on the ice along with John Butita and Nate Keeley here with this forward line. Good pass from Hanley right up to Butita. Butita onside with it, and this one went out off the outside of the goal. It hit the outside goal post there, outside of the far side post. And Baton Rouge looking to bring it from the defensive end now. Out towards center, they bump it ahead. That was Tyler Larwood who scored in last night's game. He's the captain. And on net, then pushed aside by Boris Babick. Far side, here's Schnapp. Jacob Schnapp holding on to it. Batted down along the center ice red line. Played ahead by Keeley. Keeley looked to chop it down, goes back to Hanley. Hanley tries to slide it back to the neutral zone as it goes back and forth. Here in the opening frame, onside, a good chance for White. Loads up, can't fire. Now he does, and Stevens makes a save. And they stop the game. Zach White looks around. And either the net came off. I think the official thought the net came off there as they jiggle the far side post around to make sure it's in place, but I'm not sure it ever did. Far side face-off. Thunderbirds look to win it here. Goes down, and then some pressure applied by Zach White. Now to the near side, here's White. Holding on to it, goes way across the zone, and then played by Jack Johansson. Try to catch it on the backhand. And they'll look to redirect the play to the near side. We'll see the Thunderbirds fighting for it here along the near side board. Found though, and moved out to center quickly. Chris Ciolik. They'll strip it away from the Zydeco. It's Zach White. Finds Roman Kramer. Kramer onside here. Wide open. Farmer, he gets it to him. He shoots, and his shot was blocked high in the zone. Johansson looks to hold the line, puts it down low. Thunderbirds could have numbers down low here as Zach White tried to put it right in the wheelhouse of Roman Kramer, but it was blocked. Baton Rouge moves it down the ice, back behind the net. Farmer holding on to it. Now it goes to Roman Kramer. Out towards center, stretch pass, and that one nearly landed to Chris Mott. It just went away from him. 16-13 left to go in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. We are scoreless here on this Saturday night. Long shot, and the Zydeco block it in front unintentionally as Jake Cox let the shot go. Onside Salak, back behind the net. Here's Jan Salak holding on to it. 16 goals on the year for number 16. Across, Connor Craig shooting one. Stevens makes a save, and he thought he had it covered. He didn't, and then he falls on it. And so they update the shots on net, showing as 3-0 for the visitors. Team with 10 shots on goal in the first period last night. It was a 39-29 advantage overall at the end of the night for the Thunderbirds. Offensive end face-off win. Long shot again. Right pad save this time from Stevens. Out towards the neutral zone. Austin Weber carried it. And down low it goes. Far side. Thunderbirds get back to it. They'll look to work it around through center right. This one goes just by Chris Mott. And they'll look to regroup here in from center. Onside, a chance for the Thunderbirds. Here's Dumas trying to center. Wrap chance out in front. Stolen away by Baton Rouge. Alexian near side. They'll chop at it. We'll see if Twin City can hold the line here. Shots are 4-0 for Twin City. Out towards center. And we'll see if Keeley can collect it. Here's Keeley back behind the net. Scored last night. He's been red hot offensively the last couple of weekends. They feed it right back to him from Butita. Keeley to Schnapp. His drive off a deflection goes wide. Matt Garcia steps up aggressively, looking to hold the zone. It's being kicked at now by Baton Rouge. Not out to center. Schnapp held on to it briefly, and then the Zydeco will get back to it. They chip it ahead into the near side corner. For Bailey Morissette. High in the zone. They got the tip they were looking for. It goes wide back behind the net. Now it's just off the side of the goal. They'll move it around high in the zone. Here's Kim Niettinen. Niettinen eventually gave it away. And it's Jacob Schnapp. Powers his way onside. Looks to steal it again as Stephen Ford had taken it away from him. Now back to Farmer. Farmer at center. We will be due for our first media timeout at the next stoppage, unless it's a goal. Baton Rouge onside. And they look to slide it across there. Bailey Morissette, long shot, easy glove save from there by Boris Babik, and that will send us to that media timeout. It's our first stoppage in tonight's game. 13-15-6 left to go in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Media timeout. We'll be right back with more Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
What are you doing, bub?
Just fixing my chair.
You should call Contract Business Solutions.
Good idea. I'll give them a call.
Proudly serving the Piedmont Triad area for over 17 years, Contract Business Solutions partners with leading manufacturers to create innovative, budget-friendly workspaces. From design and layout to delivery and installation, explore our capabilities at cbsworkspaces.com.
Two pillows, endless possibilities. At Cotton & Crate, we make it easy to refresh your home season after season. Our 18x18 and 12x20 pillow sizes pair perfectly with our seasonal collections of interchangeable covers, so you can refresh your style anytime without cluttering up your closet. We're proud to team up with the Twin City Thunderbirds, celebrating hometown spirit and the comfort of home on and off the ice. Thunderbirds fans, enjoy $5 off your order at cottonandcrate.com with the code TBIRDS5OFF. Cotton & Crate. Two pillows, endless possibilities.
offensive zone face-off for the Thunderbirds out of the media timeout. They'll look for it here. Far side circle. And now back to the near side for Farmer. We're scoreless early on here in the first period. Twin City onside. Chance for Gallant. Gallant holding on to it. Shots are 4-1, favoring the Thunderbirds here on the road. Kramer in front he goes, looking for a play to Gallant. Goes across and through the far side. Held onside. Long shot in on goal. Stick save made by Bailey Stevens from range that time. Down behind the goal line. They'll look to feed it out in front of the goal as it's possessed along the near side circle. Gallant flipped it high in the air and then right back down for Jack Johansson. Some room in the near side corner as the Zydeco look for it. Down low though, White got it from Kramer. Here's Roman Kramer. Trying to go in front to White and then Gallant. Kramer looking for it. Now he's wide open to the near side. They don't get it to him for now as he looks for it back behind the goal. Crashing in is James Farmer. Farmer trying to hold the line. Now it's out to center. Shots are 5-1. Favoring Twin City. Back on side with it. Farmer, a slap shot, but the stick exploded on him. And he's got to go get a new one. Roman Kramer pushed away from it, and then the clearing attempt hit Chris Mott and stays onside. So it's still in the attacking area. Up top now to LaBelle. Here's Josh LaBelle onside, 5-on-5 hockey. And eventually stolen away by the Zydeco. Kramer goes off to complete his line change, and they move it up to Jan Salak. Salak will step onside, still with it. Nice move there, a couple of them. Salak centered in front. LaBelle open, shoots one. Wide of the goal it goes. It's off the glass. Falls back down to Salak, still with it. In front, Mott couldn't fire as they put a stick on him to break up the play. White Sweaters still have it, and they draw a penalty. It's a slash. All right, well, the Thunderbirds not on the board, but we'll see if they can get on the board here as they will go to the opening power play of the night. The game-winning goal was scored on the power play last night by Connor Craig in the second period.
Put your bid in the silent auction. Once it's done, it's done.
Sunday's game of last week on the road in a 4-2 loss against Athens was a moment that ended a streak. The Thunderbirds had 9 consecutive games scoring a power play goal. They started a new streak last night. We'll see if they can do it again. Kramer scores! Power play goal. It's 1-0. That only took a few seconds. And Roman Kramer strikes again here on the weekend. And so it's 1-0 for Twin City. Good start to the game. They're heavily outshooting the Zydeco, now outscoring them as well. Face off at center ice following tonight's opening goal of the matchup, scored by Roman Kramer on the power play. Nate Keeley looking for it here from the face-off. It's moved down the ice, though, by Baton Rouge. And the near side corner, then back behind the net of Boris Babbitt, who looks on. They announce the goal to Kramer. Out-of-town scoreboard report, Athens and PD are now tied 1-1 in the second period. We have our first scoring play of tonight's game. And so as the Thunderbirds go back to pick it up in the defensive zone, they look to slide it from the far side of the building. Trying to catch up to it here and applying some pressure is Troy Harwell with a bump there, looking for a check. Now it's in behind the goal. Stevens took sort of an odd bounce and eventually found by the Zydeco. Kramer at 8:06 on the power play. Now towards the red line. Zydeco with it. Now towards the near side again. They'll work from there. Thunderbirds have it with the captain, Butita. And we'll see if Mott can get to it. Here's Salak. Salak, a quick pass right to the logo at center to Matt Garcia. Lost it and taken aside by Blake Keller. Keller, one of the top scorers on this Zydeco team. Long shot there, went well wide of the goal. Far side now for Salak. Zips it back across to the near side. And they throw it in front of the goal. And eventually Salak, and then Dom Dumas gets over, trying to help out his teammate. Swatted out by Mott, out of his reach. We have 10:25 left to go in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Thunderbirds behind enemy lines here on the weekend on the road. 3 consecutive games against Baton Rouge. And Twin City strikes first with a power play goal from Roman Kramer. It's 1-0. Thunderbirds back on home ice, coming up on Friday, 7:35, the time of the puck drop against the Athens Rock Lobsters. Chance onside for the Zydeco, no shot yet. They look to center, back behind the net, up top, and a save through traffic made by Boris Babick. It was Scott Shurrock who carried it onside. He looks for it now on the far side corner. Thunderbirds have Johansson put it in front of Farmer, and then Farmer out to Dumas. Onside is Dumas. Across the zone they go. Johansson, pressure to him, got taken down. There's Salak stepping in. He looks for it. Back behind the goal. They'll look to center. In on Stevens. Up top they go. Farmer waiting. Long shot there that went wide of the goal. He was looking for some help, but a tip from Salak. Eventually they'll feed Jan Salak. Look how strong he is. 1-on-2 and still was carrying it there for a moment. Johansson centers in front. He was trying to go to Gallant, but eventually he's taken aside and the Zydeco have it out to center. They'll drop it onside and make changes. And it's Boris Babick to settle it down for Farmer behind the net. Now they drive it out towards center to the goal scorer, Kramer up the wing. Here we go. White onside, waiting. Drops it back to Kramer, side of the circle. Kramer back behind the net, turns, fires one, blocked, and found and covered by the goaltender Stevens. 1-0, as now we got trouble brewing after the whistle. We're due for the media timeout here. And looks like everyone will settle down. All right, media timeout. We'll take it and be right back with more Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
Best electricians, plumbers, and heating and cooling technicians to bring convenience and unbeatable value to our customers. Life can be hectic. What better way to simplify than to have one company you trust to take care of all of your home's repair needs? Since 1972, integrity and customer satisfaction have been at the heart of everything we do. We are proud to have built a name our neighbors trust, one that provides peace of mind and a service that can be relied on, today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Thank you for trusting Gwynn Services with your home. We are proud to stand behind the work we do every single day to serve our friends and neighbors here in North Carolina. We are Gwynn Services. One call does it all.
Every car gets warning lights, but did you know the color actually means something too? Red indicates an issue that requires immediate attention. Orange indicates a less urgent issue, like a vehicle service requirement. Blue and green give you information on lights and indicators. The more you know with Flow.
Face-off following the media timeout. Thunderbirds win it, and we're back. Josh LaBelle goes ahead, and it's blocked and eventually played by Connor Bragg in from center. Bragg looked to play it in front of him, goes back down behind the goal. Twin City applying some pressure. Roman Kramer with a power play goal has made it 1-0. Jason Gallant, part of the Gus Ford trade, as White gets knocked over. Gallant had it. And he wears number 10 and is on that top line with Kramer and White. They're out there now. They get it to White. Here comes Zach White at the left wing. Steps onside, flips it across the ring. Down it goes. It hit the linesman, and a bad break for the Thunderbirds. It'll be a 3-on-2 the other way. White looking to get back, now a 3-on-3. And now he throws his weight around. We could have a rush the other way as LaBelle found it. Across he goes on the pass. Gallant back to LaBelle. Couldn't fire as they catch up to him, and he'll drop it down behind the goal line. As Matej Palffy got to him. Palffy started the scoring in last night's game for the Zydeco as they were up 1-0 and then made it 2-0 eventually, just 21 seconds after his game-opening goal in last night's contest. Right now, it's 1-0 for the Thunderbirds. Shots are 7-2. 7:23 left to go in period one. Inside the line, long shot down behind the net, just looking for a pass to Keeley there. And that's where they try to operate from. Harwell came crashing in, looking to steal it. Stepping up is Hanley off the backhand. They'll intercept. Stretch pass to the near side. Bailey Morissette flipped it across to the zone. And it's in the corner. No one down there for Baton Rouge. Now they look to hold the line, but the Thunderbirds get it back. They'll move it quickly through center. And skate after it here with Harwell. And Schnapp applying the pressure, but it's back out to the neutral zone. Garcia took a heavy check, stayed on his skates though. And now they'll blow this down. We got a disagreement. And everyone on the ice except for the goaltenders are going to come together here. Jacob Schnapp might want to go. And the linesmen get in as quickly as they can to break everything up. Well, we'll see if any penalties are levied after this. Schnapp will go off for a line change. And Matt Garcia has to be calmed down. We see him being pulled away. And so Farmer and Mott, the last two players for Twin City to break away from that action. These two teams are next to each other in the standings. Thunderbirds right ahead of Baton Rouge, although there's some ground between them. But first and only time that we see the Zydeco this season here on the weekend. 3 games. And there was not much of that last night. And so we'll see if we continue to have more of it. I think we've already seen more post-whistle activity so far in tonight's game than we did all night last night. But Baton Rouge has the least amount of power play goals in the league, and so sometimes you see teams that are really good on the power play try to use that to their advantage and create extra power plays for themselves as the night goes along. But in this case, not many power play goals, only 21 on the year. They have sent players back across the ice, and looks like we're going to continue to play 5-on-5. So we're finally back after all of that. And
in the penalty box,
they're going to announce the penalties, but we're playing 5-on-5. Looking for it here is Dom Dumas.
Troy Harwell. Also serving a 2-minute minor for roughing for the Thunderbirds, number 6, Jacob.
So Schnapp and Harwell are in the box. Meanwhile, the Thunderbirds fighting for it here on site as Farmer drops it down behind the goal line. Mott will try to catch up to it. Now he puts it downstairs for Dominic Dumas. Eventually grabbed by Baton Rouge. Shots are 7-2, and the Thunderbirds on the board first. They lead it 1-0. 6:02 left to play in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Through center. Back on side for Mott. Loads up, fires one, blocks. The lock got the rebound, though, high in the zone, and then he was forced out to center. So now it's Josh LaBelle with it. He will go ahead and look for a play up to Dominic Dumas, then back for LaBelle. Twin City chips it onside here in the middle game of this 3-game series on the weekend. Back behind the goal line. They've added the assists on a scoring play. It's now Roman Kramer from Zach White and Josh LaBelle. As LaBelle steals it in, looking for a rebound, they fire it on Stevens, and he makes a great save on Farmer. Sorry, Gallant. Now it's Kramer. Tried to feed a pass to White, but it went through his skates. Here's a play down low once again for Kramer. Across the zone, picked off out of the reach of White. Just along the red line. Connor Craig looking to take it back. Here comes Roman Kramer back to it. Onside. Waiting. Took it down into the corner. They pressure him. Now it's high in the zone to Zach White. He's crunched. Stays on his skates though. Now Roman Kramer. Zach White dancing, firing, shot block. It's still free, in front they go land on the doorstep, looking for it, covered up by Stevens. Now White, he gets taken down. .439 left to go in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Shots are 9-2. And Kason Gallant, he has had his chances here with his debut weekend for the team. He could have had several last night, and he's already had some chances here tonight. All right, media timeout. We'll be right back with more Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
Being your best is hard. You got to take care of yourself. You got your husband.
Let's put in a pool. For the kids.
For the kids. Forget the car. How about a motorcycle?
And if you own a business?
We need servers from, like, this century.
Yeah.
At a Legacy Federal Credit Union, we're committed to helping you be your best you. Whether it's with an unbeatable car loan rate, home equity line of credit, or small business help.
Who's the best?
Visit alegacy.org for our best rates.
Maple Chase Golf and Country Club offers the best in recreational amenities in the Triad. Come enjoy a meal at the Pine Brook Bar and Grill, relax by our pool and cabana, and gear up at the Pro Shop while sharpening your skills on our 9,000 square foot putting green, and play around on our 18-hole Ellis Maples Design Championship Golf Course. You can find out more at maplechasecc.com. That's maplechasecc.com.
Offensive zone face-off following the final media timeout of the first period. Thunderbirds win it. They'll flip it into the far side corner. Hanley trying to go back in front of the goal to Butita. Falls down here behind the net. Butita's with it. Up top he goes to find Matt Garcia. Now it goes by John Butita. He'll let this one ride down low as he's looking for a play from Jacob Schnapp. Schnapp is out of the box. We are still playing at 5-on-5, but they did call some penalties from that scrum in front of the scores table. Butita fires one wide here. Far side, now back down behind the goal line again. Butita looking for it. It was Harwell and Schnapp for roughing at 13-18. And then a couple of penalties called the other way for the Zydeco, also roughing at 13-18. Out to center, and there's a slash to the stick of Garcia, and this is going to create a power play for the Thunderbirds. Babick is out of the net for now for the extra attacker. And we'll see Twin City go to the power play. Well, it didn't take long to score on the previous penalty and the power play goal by Roman Kramer. We'll see if they can do it again. Offensive zone face-off on the way. Out-of-town scoreboard report. PD has taken a 2-1 lead on Athens. Far side face-offs from that circle. It's Craig holding on to it. They'll look to pass it around the zone. Dangerous play, but they hold the line barely. Baton Rouge very aggressive on the penalty kill. Mott goes up top to Craig. Shoots one, blocked in front, and then covered up by Stevens. So Bailey Stevens launches on that one. Former Missouri State Ice Bear. Along with Thunderbirds forward Kason Gallant. Here's Butita, also a former ACHA player. He played at Kent State. Wins this face-off. Now it's Chris Mott, Jan Salak. Salak waiting with it. Near side of the ring, Butita got it. Salak shooting one, nearly surprised Stevens. He dropped down and made a save at the very last second. It's out to center on the clear and then way down into the defensive territory. Here comes Craig, scored the game winner last night on the power play. Up the wing, Salak into the corner. He's trying to steal it away from him. Not easy to do. Gallant looking to play it to Salak. Off the back of the net, Butita tried to center. It goes in! Power play goal! John Butita banks it in off the goaltender. 2-0. Butita's 9th of the season, his 122nd of his career. And so Butita banked that one in off of Stevens, and I'm not sure that's what his intention was. I think he had an open option higher in the zone, but he'll probably tell us afterwards that was the plan all day long as he banked that one in. And so the Thunderbirds get a good bounce, and they've been in need of some of those this season. So a little bit of puck luck and a 2-goal lead. Back onside, Kramer gets it to White, down low to Kramer, back around the net. Holding on to it. Around the zone, near side for Farmer. Farmer loads up, gives the pass to Gallant. Tried to return it to Kramer, then stolen away, and it's out to the neutral zone. Jack Johansson searching for it. Baton Rouge to it. Shot, save made by Boris Babic. That was only the third test of this first period for Babic. And he has aced the quiz so far. Long shot, he's got this one too. Nicely done there from Boris Babic as he saw that one through traffic, and he turns aside the Zydeco's fourth shot of the game. The shots are 12-4. The score is 2-0. Binghamton has added a goal in their game against Watertown. They lead at 5-0, and Athens has answered back against PD. It's now 2-2. Monroe 3-3 with Columbus. Port Huron leading Indiana 3-1 in the tie game 1-1. With Danbury on home ice against Blue Ridge. So we'll keep you updated. This was the last game to get going here with this late start time. 8:05 back home in Winston-Salem. 7:05 here locally in the Central Time Zone. They'll look for it here. Now it goes down into the corner. Connor Craig will find it back behind the net. He's got room to work from the defensive zone. Thunderbirds attack right to left here in the opening period of the Pine Tree Tavern first period. And they have scored 2 goals. Chance for the Zydeco in behind the goal. Far side post, they score. And it's 2-1. So it's a lively bounce off the end wall. That fooled Boris Babic. He was looking to his left. The puck was to his right. And they stuff it in on the far side post. It's a 1-goal game again. Thunderbirds still in front. 2-1 the score. Roman Kramer and John Butita scoring on the power play. And now we have the first even strength goal of tonight's game for Baton Rouge. And on goal on Stevens. And he will stop the play as he melts it down. So it's Jake Cox who scores the goal. He's a native of Columbus, Georgia. Offensive zone face-off here for the Thunderbirds following the save and the meltdown from the glove hand of Bailey Stevens. Down he goes. They'll fight for it across the rink. Far side circle. Back behind the cage now. Pressure from Butita. But it's out to center. Zydeco carry it forward. They will chop it down into the near side corner. Back behind the goal. They give the goal for 1 to go in period 1. High in the zone. Chance again. They couldn't fire. Now they try to center. It's blocked. And a good takeaway from Cade Hanley. Nicely done there for number 3. Up the wing, he'll chip it across to Butita. Butita gets around one defender and put it down behind the goal line. Wants Garcia to help him out. Near side, they go crashing towards it. Keeley, Garcia's got it. Butita fires again off the near side post where he scored from just minutes ago. This time it hit the post squarely and fell down. Kramer goes down along the red line. Zydeco will move it forward. A late chance here in this period with now under 15 seconds to play. Now hold on to it in the near side corner. Good puck battle along the boards. Now 6 seconds left, and that may be how the period ends. Let's see, we're in the final few ticks, and that is indeed how it will finish for period number 1. All right, so that will send us to our first intermission break. We thank you for tuning in tonight with the Thunderbirds in front by a goal at 2-1. couple of power play goals back-to-back for this team to begin the scoring in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. Last night, Thunderbirds got a power play goal and a game winner from Connor Craig. Tonight, power play scoring plays from Roman Creamer at 8:06 of period number 1. Zach White and Josh LaBelle assisted on the goal. The second power play goal scored by John Butita, with Chris Mott collecting an assist. That scoring play was at 17-13. But most recently at 18:37, an even strength goal from Jake Cox has now made it 2-1. Shots on goal in the first period, officially 13-5. All right, we will step aside for our first intermission break, and we'll be back with more Twin City Thunderbirds hockey here during the break. We'll have the programming. We hope you enjoy that, and then we'll come back for the flow second period. Saturday night showdown between these two teams, and after one, it's the Thunderbirds 2, the Zydeco 1. Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
Want an experience that wakes you up? A place where you can scream to your heart's delight? Go ahead. No one will hear you anyway. Here, you don't just watch. You feel. Come as you are and have a damn good time. That rumble you hear, that growl you feel, that's us.
Gwin Services has been serving North Carolina for over 50 years, ensuring the safety and comfort of our customers' homes. We take pride in bringing together the best electricians, plumbers, and heating and cooling technicians to bring convenience and unbeatable value to our customers. Life can be hectic. What better way to simplify than to have one company you trust to take care of all of your home's repair needs? Since 1972, integrity and customer satisfaction have been at the heart of everything we do. We are proud to have built a name our neighbors trust, one that provides peace of mind and a service that can be relied on, today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Thank you for trusting Gwin Services with your home. We are proud to stand behind the work we do every single day to serve our friends and neighbors here in North Carolina. We are Gwin Services. One call does it all.
When you compete at your best, you need a team that keeps you moving. At Yadkin Physical Therapy, we're proud to be the official physical therapy provider of the Twin City Thunderbirds. From the first evaluation to hands-on treatment, we focus on what matters, reducing pain, restoring mobility, and building confidence. Because performance isn't just about recovering, it's about training smarter, strength, stability, balance, and control. Our therapists tailor every plan to each individual so you can return to the ice, the gym, or the job feeling stronger. The same level of care we provide the Thunderbirds is here for our whole community. Students, weekend warriors, and families helping you stay healthy and perform at your best. Yadkin Physical Therapy in Yadkinville. Call 336-677-1800 or email ypt@yadkinphysicaltherapy.com.
All right, everyone, welcome back to the Coach Harry Show. Kendall Grayson, Coach Harry with you here this week. Coach, we had a Sunday game this week, which I mentioned is a little bit unusual in the schedule, but now it's going to kind of be our normal here coming up. And I know you talked about it at the opening and talked about the game there on the road against Athens, but, you know, I think compared to maybe the Friday game, you do get a goal first. You get a second goal there in the second period. But just take us through, maybe the first and the second period. You had an even strength goal from Sally, and then Whitey gets you a shorthanded goal to put you up by 2 there about halfway through the game.
Yeah, I really liked our first 2 periods. I liked the whole game. I didn't really have an issue with it. When you're in a game like that against a good team like Athens, it's a break here or break there. And as I said, we're up 2-0, and we made a mistake, and they made it 2-1 there, and I was like, oh boy, the bubble kind of burst there a little bit. But even after that, I liked our game. Going into the lineup at the time, I had to, as I said, Mogul had to jump in and play with Cunningham and Dempke, and as I said, just the lines kind of got just jumbled up there in the game. And as I said, I was happy. I told the guys after we worked our tails off, and I thought we deserved a better fate. They scored the 1 goal there, and then I honestly believe that I challenged it, because I wouldn't have challenged if I didn't believe it. That and even the jumbotron, you look at it, he turned his foot, and that's basically considered kicking. So when it's a 3-2 hockey game like that, and they get that goal, and a little disappointing. They had and I hate to say about the Stripes, but when you go into an arena like that, and they hadn't played, they had like 8 power plays, 2 5-on-3s, and we get a 1.5 power plays. And in a game like that, it's kind of disheartening that those things kind of happen in those situations. And I'm not saying that we didn't deserve some of them, but there was a lot of penalties that they deserved too. So it was just one of those nights where, as I said, I don't think Carmen was on our side, but I give the guys a lot of credit. I thought we worked our tail off, and then we scored at the end. So if that 1 goal didn't count, Whitey's was actually in the net, so it should have been a 3-3 hockey game. So a little disappointing. I thought the effort was great there. As I said, the guys 3-3. We got there about, I think, an hour or 45 minutes before we had to get on the ice. We had a snafu with the eating arrangements. But that's fine. Those things happen. But as I said, I thought we came out and we didn't give up a whole lot of odd man rushes. When we did, I thought the defense played well. And then obviously Boris, when they had the opportunity to score, he made the save there. But close game, and we just have to learn how to close those games out when you're up 2-0.
You mentioned Boris, and I keep going back to the stretch of hockey we have coming up, playing 3 games and these weekend series. Tell us about the goaltending with him and Purdy right now, and do you look at a series like this weekend and say, I'm going to go ahead and schedule it, and I'm going to put this goalie in this day, or do you kind of take it, game by game, see how the first one does on Friday? How do you plan on handling that?
Boris is going to go Friday. We know that already, and he's played well and gave us an opportunity, every night, and so he's going to go Friday. And after that, I'll be honest with you, I could sit here probably for the next half hour and give you all the scenarios I had up there, up here, but it just depends on how it goes. And our goal this week is we got to get a lot of points, and so that's going to dictate how we play. There could be a scenario where Purdy could go in Saturday, or there could be a scenario where Boris might play 3 games. It just depends on how we're feeling, how we're playing, how the guys are feeling, and where it's at. So that's my job, to sit back and see where the guys are emotionally and physically, and what's going to be the best situation for us. So as I said, Boris will go Friday, and Saturday morning you and I'll talk, and I'll tell you who's going Saturday.
Sounds good. I wanted to ask you before we go off the Athens game here. I mentioned Watertown opponent you're not going to see again. Athens you are. Unfortunately, haven't been on the right side, although you put some good performances together like you did on Sunday. What do you think the key is to finally getting a win against these guys? Because I think we see them 4 or 5 more times here.
Well, it's the 60 minutes. They're a lot like Binghamton. We went into Binghamton, and we never gave up a goal that I think the 1 goal we gave them a little bit and gave them some momentum, and those are the goals that you can't give up. If a team comes down and scores a real good goal, I always say tip your hat to them. Give them credit too. If they make a great play, make a great play. But I think the first goal there, we had the puck. we lost it. Next thing you know, there was a scramble. Next thing, the puck's in the net. And those are the goals that we've got to kind of eliminate, especially against a team like that. And if we do that, then we'll be good. Don't get me wrong. I thought they're a very high pile. They got a great team. But I'm going to be honest with you. We went toe-to-toe with them with the lineup we had the other day. And as I said, we just got to eliminate those certain mistakes at the time. And, at the end of the second game, if they don't score that second goal, we go in 2-1. Yeah. We're really in good shape. So I was pleased with it. And as I said, we just got to make sure that, we got to play. If they're going to earn something, make them earn it, and don't give them anything. And play the way we did the other day. I was pleased with it.
Yeah. As always, on the other side of this break, we'll get to the fan questions. But before we do, Coach, anything else you'd like to say about the Sunday game or the weekend as a whole, just to wrap it up here?
As I said, it was more like the roller coaster weekend, and happy or sad, but happy because we won, and then sad because I thought we played well and didn't win, and then the other game I thought we played well and had 50 shots and couldn't win. So a lot of emotions up and down. And as I said, unfortunately, we didn't get the points that we were hoping for this weekend. But this weekend here, we got to turn the tables a little bit and get some points.
Coach, we're going to get to our questions here, and the first one has to deal with roster changes. Obviously, there was a couple of moves today. Gus Ford going to Athens, 3 players coming back the other way. I think that's what everyone kind of wants to talk about. We got a question specific about roster changes, but anything you'd like to say about today and where we're at?
You make a move, and we got 3 new guys coming in, and actually I'm sitting here waiting for their driving in tonight as we speak. So that'll be exciting tomorrow, and we'll see where they're at. And Corey Cunningham, I moved yesterday to Indiana. We had to make some roster moves, and I know the one question there is there going to be some more moves? And yeah, there's going to be some more. Mike Manny, I unfortunately had to release today, and those are tough situations. Mikey's been a great asset to us, and not just on the ice but off the ice. And as I said, we're just in a situation where now with players that we have to make some moves, and so there's probably going to be a couple more. I'm not sure how things are going to go. As I said, if I had a crystal ball, I'd tell you, but I don't have a crystal ball with me right now. But some roster changes are going to be made, and we'll see how it goes. And I'm excited about it. Every time you bring in new, fresh faces, I know they're excited about coming. Sad to see people leave, but that's pro hockey, and you got to move on. When those situations happen, as I said, nobody's happy about it. No one's. You lose people that you care about or whatever. And as I said, but you're going to bring in some new, fresh faces, and these kids that the one Dom played here a couple of years ago for a little cup of coffee, and a great kid, and I know the other 2 guys. The rapport, from what I've been told, is good about them, and people like them. So I think it's been good, and we'll see what happens.
And we have a specific question here. What can we look forward to with those players? You've got one that was listed as, I think, a defenseman and a forward, but will probably play forward, I'm guessing, in Dumas.
Yeah.
And then you've got the defender and then Gallant. So specifically, those, I know you just touched on it, but those 3 players are coming over and good players for us.
Well, Gallant, I think he had like 50 or he had a lot, 49 goals or something like that, and put up a lot of points last year, and could put the puck in the net. And Dumas, I think he's going to be. I think he's come a long way. A lot of times when you get a guy as a rookie, that first year, everyone's like, oh, geez, and I think we traded him at the time, and it was a tough move, but we made the move. And as I said, I think he's really matured. I know he had some things going on in his life at that time too, which didn't help, but he's a great. He understands the game, and I think he's gonna bring something to us that if you saw him a few years ago, I think you're going to be surprised. I think he's going to bring a lot more to the table. And Johansson's a big defenseman. I'm not sure how tall he is or the specifics, but I know he's a big guy and likes to play a little physical, but he can move the puck. And as I said, I think he's just going to bring a little stability to us, and it'll help.
Yeah, I've got him at 6'2" here, but yeah, big player that we just saw here recently. This question is also about movement. It says specifically what areas still need to be improved.
Well, you're always trying to improve. If you can improve somewhere, it doesn't matter what position. If you might think this guy's a great player, and if you can improve on it, then you improve on it. Your goal is to look at the situation and say, can we improve?
When it comes to performance, speed matters, just like on the ice. Introducing same-day dental crowns right here at Twin Oaks Dentistry. With cutting-edge technology, we craft crowns on-site, eliminating the need for temporary. As proud sponsors of the Thunderbirds, we understand the need for top-notch performance. We're more than just dental care. We're your partners in achieving your best smile.
2 pillows, endless possibilities. At Cotton & Crate, we make it easy to refresh your home season after season. Our 18x18 and 12x20 pillow sizes pair perfectly with our seasonal collections of interchangeable covers, so you can refresh your style anytime without cluttering up your closet. We're proud to team up with the Twin City Thunderbirds, celebrating hometown spirit and the comfort of home on and off the ice. Thunderbirds fans, enjoy $5 off your order at cottonandcrate.com with the code TBIRDS 5 off. Cotton & Crate, 2 pillows, endless possibilities.
Maple Chase Golf and Country Club offers the best in recreational amenities in the Triad. Come enjoy a meal at the Pine Brook Bar and Grill, relax by our pool and cabana, and gear up at the Pro Shop while sharpening your skills on our 9,000 square foot putting green, and play around on our 18-hole Ellis Maples Design Championship Golf Course. You can find out more at maplechasecc.com. That's maplechasecc.com.
Flow Offer to Purchase makes it easy for you to generate an appraisal for a vehicle online in under 5 minutes. You can confidently use Flow Offer to Purchase to determine your vehicle's trade-in value or to get a real offer to sell it to us. Here at Flow, we've always had a transparent, interactive appraisal process that our customers love. We developed our Flow Offer to Purchase tool to offer you that same great experience online or through our Flow Garage app anytime, anywhere. Using Flow Offer to Purchase is simple. Either enter your license plate number or VIN, and the system will pull up basic information about your vehicle. Some vehicles have options or extras that need to be selected in order to pull an accurate value. Then just tell us about the current condition of a few things like your tires, dents and scratches, or mechanical issues. From there, a real offer on your vehicle, whether you buy from us or not, is just a click away. Just a heads up, our staff will check over your vehicle to ensure your Flow Offer to Purchase is accurate. Your satisfaction is our priority. Flow Automotive dealerships have processed tens of thousands of vehicles using Flow Offer to Purchase, which has resulted in buying many thousands of cars from customers. Try Flow Offer to Purchase for free today. You can access this tool by clicking Sell Trade on flowauto.com or your dealer site by starting the Sell Trade dialog in the center of the homepage.
And welcome back to the Raising Cane's River Center here in Baton Rouge. Kendall Grayson with you as always. Twin City Thunderbirds hockey. Thank you for tuning in. It is a 2-1 lead for the visitors following the Pine Tree Tavern first period as we get ready to go in the Flow second period. But it's Twin City 2 and Baton Rouge 1. Power play goals from Roman Kramer and John Butita. Kramer's goal at 8:06 in the first period, assisted by Zach White and Josh LaBelle. Butita's goal, 7:13 the time of the goal, assisted by Chris Mott. And so it was 2-0 for the Thunderbirds with under 3 minutes to play. But the final goal of the first period scored even strength by the Zydeco's Jake Cox. And at 18:37, it's now a 2-1 game. Shots on net in period number 1, 13-5. Favoring Twin City. So it's a 1-goal advantage at 2-1 and 13-5 for the shots on net. Each team, we're waiting their arrival and the return for period number 2. When they do return, it'll be the Thunderbirds moving left to right and the Zydeco working right to left. Out-of-town scoreboard report. It is a 3-2 lead in the second period for Athens on the road against PD. Binghamton is up 7-1 on Watertown. 3-3 the score between Monroe and Columbus. 3-1 the score. Port Huron leading Indiana. And in the third period, it's 1-1 Blue Ridge and Danbury. There's one game across the league schedule tomorrow. It's right here, 4:05 Eastern Time. We will have the pregame show for you beginning at 3:45. One game on Wednesday this week will be PD at Athens. And then a busy schedule on the weekend, including our home game on Friday against the Rock Lobsters, 7:35, the time of the puck drop for that one. All right, the two teams hitting the ice now. If you're watching on YouTube, Facebook, or Sportfy, we see the Thunderbirds emptying out in the zone to our left. Boris Babic back between the pipes. He won his 49th career game last night, going for a milestone and win number 50 this evening. On the other side, goaltender is Bailey Stevens. Stevens was very good last night, had to deal with a barrage of shots, turned away 36 of them, but not enough. As the Thunderbirds won the game 3-2 last night. All right, here we go. It's time for the Flow second period. And there's the face-off. It's won by Zach White. The middle frame is underway. It was thrown onside immediately by Jack Johansson. It sort of stopped as it hit a stanchion sharply, fell down, and it's back to center again. Here's Kaysen Gallant with it. Shooting one, save made. Now another chance as Johansson moves to Kramer way across the zone looking for Zach White. Falls down in the corner. As the Zydeco look to get to it. Shots are now 14-5 favoring Twin City. White goes across the zone, far side of the building. Now they get it back to him. Johansson rolling puck, try to settle it. White's got it, fires one here, and off a deflection, it goes wide of the net. Down the ring. They look to play it from there, just over the blue line, and a delayed offside. This will allow the Thunderbirds to take their time and get to it. White goes up the wing. He'll find a play to Jan Salak. Called for it. Salak kept it, fired, and a glove save made by Stevens. He couldn't squeeze it, though, so it falls down, and we continue to play. This one gets by LaBelle, played by goaltender Babbitt to Craig. Craig out to center, looking at Dom Dumas. Dumas and number 19. Now Mott searching for it. He wears number 22. And up they go. Here's Jan Salak in front of the net to Mott. He's open, off the backhand and on goal. Stevens shut it down and covers it. And so everyone will break apart. Good play there, though. And now we see the shots on net updated to 17-5. 1 goal advantage, 2-1. Twin City in search of win number 20 on the year. A win tonight, a win tomorrow would certainly help in the standings. 8-point deficit to the PD Ice Caps, who currently hold the 4th and final playoff spot. There is no more wild card game. It's just simply the top 4 teams from each side that will go as they update that format this year. Here's LaBelle, the long shot and on goal. That's turned away by Stevens. Chris Mott, he'll find the rebound, works it across the zone to Craig, and his shot goes well wide, all the way out to center, and then captured in the defensive territory by LaBelle. Josh LaBelle flips it ahead, intercepted by Baton Rouge as they look to hop onside with it. With Shurik in front they go, they look to shoot, there it is, and it goes just wide. And getting back defensively was Dom Dumas. He may have affected that shot. Dumas looking to catch up to it onside, rips one towards the goal. Save made by Stevens, and Dumas is knocked down. Twin City to it though, penalty called against Baton Rouge. Long shot from Hanley, save made, as out of the net was Boris Babic for the extra attacker. All right, so things will reset, and we will see the Thunderbirds with an offensive end face-off after this penalty has been committed by the Zydeco. So here's another opportunity on the man advantage. Power play has been red hot so far this weekend. Nate Keeley, he scored last night, although it was an even strength goal he scored. He's ready to go here in the face-off dot. They'll look to win it. Near side, the battle with White now. And it's LaBelle to hold the line. Up to White. Across they go. Collected by Roman Kramer here on the power play. Thunderbirds looking for another 2-goal lead in the matchup. Near side is Zach White. Josh LaBelle catches it. One more pass to Kramer. Couldn't fire. Zydeco got in the way of the shooting lanes. And now it's out to center and cleared down the ring. And so the Thunderbirds have to go back, chasing this one down in the defensive zone on the power play. Twin City with 36 power play goals on the year, entering the night. They've got a couple. And looking for another one here. Up top. They'll pass it around, back onside. LaBella, quick pass to Kramer. Shoots it off the post. It goes. Kramer looking for another one here on the weekend. They'll try it with White. Downstairs on the pass. Dumas returns it to him. Calls for it. Dom Dumas back behind the net. Now they'll zip it around up high. 1 minute left to go in the power play. Far side corner. Top of the circle. Kramer shoots it. Deflected. Stays in play. And to the line, not out. Good keep by White to get it to LaBelle, and he played it down into the corner. Baton Rouge is to it, and there's the clear. Boris Babick comes way out of the goal to play it. He's got plenty of space, plenty of time, and softly put it back to Roman Kramer. Found here by Connor Craig as Kramer completes the change on the power plays and make changes in the power play unit. Zydeco nearly had a shorthanded break, but it goes to Kason Gallant. Gallant's onside here for the Thunderbirds. It's a 1-goal advantage at 2-1. They look to add to it. 16:09 to play in the second period. Open is Craig. Got it. Fired. Blocked in front, and it's covered. And now only 13 seconds remain on the 5-on-4. Matej Palfy's in the box. 2:08 cross-checking. 2-minute penalty. John Butita, right circle face-off on the power play, back behind him. They had to rush in to pick it up there with Chris Mott. Mott dumps it down behind the goal line, taken away by Baton Rouge. The clear is into the Thunderbirds bench off a deflection, and that is nearly going to do it for the power play. There's just 5 seconds left now on this 5-on-4. One goal advantage for the visitors. It's 2-1. Twin City will have another road game here tomorrow. 4:05, the time of the puck drop. Faceoff comes outside of the zone. Well, I mentioned this last night, but there's a contingency of Thunderbirds fans seated in section 129, and we'd like to thank them for making the road trip and cheering us on here behind enemy lines. I know many of you are watching and listening back at home, and would like to thank you also, but very nice to see some Thunderbirds fans making this long trip. Down behind the goal line, we're back to 5-on-5. Dumas will play it across to Jan Salak. Twin City with a 1-goal advantage. It's 2-1. Zydeco look to chip it out towards the neutral zone. Held onside nicely there by Matt Garcia. Then they'll tie up for it. It goes to Chris Mott. Bounces to Jan Salak. He's open. Tried to fire. In front. Blocked. And eventually collected by Nick Kitola. So Kitola looks to skate it out of the zone for Baton Rouge. Far side of the building. Eventually in on goal. Blocked away by Babbitt. Gave up a rebound though. And they try to put it back in front of the net with Curtis Hansen. That was only the 6th shot of the night for Baton Rouge. They look to move it onside here from center. So back for the Thunderbirds, out towards center. Garcia in search of it. Trying to dance around a defender. Now it's Harwell down low as he looked to chop that one towards the net. Number 27 was open. And now he applies the pressure as the Zydeco drift back the other way. Heavy hit from Hanley. Now Keeley and Butita looking for it. Out to center, Harwell bumped it slowly to Keeley. Harwell towards the end of the shift here, but he still got it. Feeds Keeley and he couldn't handle the pass. He was open in between the circles. Now Butita from a turnover. He'll collect it. Sends it down low. Harwell up top. Johansson moves it nicely. Farmer long shot. Tipped and nearly went in. That one changed direction sharply in front of the goaltender. Now it's out to center. As Farmer played it, gave it away. Here come the Zydeco. Onside. Mietinen. In the corner he goes. Now out in front. And chopped at there by Keeley. And he will ice it here, it looks like, but that's not the worst play there from Keeley just to move it down the ring. All right, media timeout, 13:47 left to go in the second period. Thunderbirds still in front by a goal at 2-1. We'll be right back with more Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
Finish strong. Start here. Atrium Health Wake Forest Baptist.
When you're craving that slow smoke flavor done right here in Winston-Salem, there's only one place to go, Honky Tonk Smokehouse. From tendered pulled pork and fall-off-the-bone ribs to fresh house-made sides, Honky Tonk has it all. Not a meat lover? They've got delicious vegan options too. And when it's time to party, let Honky Tonk Smokehouse handle the catering and event planning. They'll bring the flavor to you. Stop by 145 Jonestown Road and taste why the locals here can't get enough. Honky Tonk Smokehouse.
So we dusted all our boots and put our cowboy hats on straight. Jim opened up his cage.
Defense's own face-off from the media timeout. Thunderbirds will go looking for it, following the icing, giving up in front. Look out here, swatted away by Boris Babic with a goal stick. And out to center. Far side, here we go, maybe a 2-on-1. Thunderbirds onside. They look to fire across, and it goes back behind the net. As the Zydeco got in the way of the pass from the far side and eventually finished down behind the goal line. 13:20 left to go in the Flow second period. Stick goes flying at center ice. And the Zydeco step onside. Jack Johansson swatted at it, then he was able to collect it and shoot a quick pass up to Kason Gallant. Gallant near side trying to find a play down to Zach White in the corner. Up top, Johansson, across, Craig, quick shot, save made by Steven. That was shot 22 of the night for the Thunderbirds. Shots are 22-7, the score is 2-1, thanks to power play goals in the Pine Tree Tavern first period. One of them from Roman Kramer and the other one from John Butita. Right circle face-off, Zach White. And one away from him, back down behind the goal line, played by Nick Kitola. Out towards center, a high flip, and eventually collected by Craig. Given away, though. Zydeco on the attack, looking to tie it. In front, save made by Babic with a pad. Right pad save from Boris Babic. Connor Craig got to it, moving along to Kason Gallant. Gallant's onside with it. Nice play and on goal there. And a save made on him. Still onside. Pinballing around over the top of the goal as Roman Kramer got it and chopped it towards the net. Behind the goal it goes. They'll fight for possession from there with 12:18 left to go in the Flow second period. Josh LaBelle high in the zone. One-timer Gallant. Save made. Good attacking pressure from Twin City. When they have it onside, the Thunderbirds have been able to move it around for the most part pretty nicely. And so the shot volume continuing to rise at 24. 39 total shots on goal last night. 3 goals on 39 shots. They have 2 on 24 so far this evening. So 1-goal victory last night, 3-2 the final. Thunderbirds are up by 1 here, 2-1. Down it goes and away from Jan Salak. Henley couldn't keep the line. Zydeco to it. Shurik trying to go across the zone, got it back. Near side up play, shot goes off the glass. Stays onside here for Baton Rouge. They'll bump it around. Hawks towards the net and shut down by Dominic Dumas. Out to center. And right back onside here for the home team. They fake the shot behind the goal. Babic looking on. Thunderbirds converging to it as Chris Mott will look for it. He circles in the far side corner. Took a bump but stayed on his skates. And out it goes to Hanley. Hanley now to Dumas. Tom Dumas onside, shoots it. Save made, fell down in the corner. Jan Salak wants possession of it. Stolen away there by Mott. As it was briefly played by Stephen Ford. High in the zone. Held onside. Johansson across he goes to find Farmer. trying to feed a play to Salak, and they were ready for it. They'll chip it out to center. Delayed offside. Farmer played it anyway. And the faceoff will come out of the zone. The Zydeco wanted all the way down the ice. The penalty for an intentional offside is a face-off in your own defensive zone, and that's what the Zydeco were calling for, as they felt that Farmer was well aware, and that's what they're going to get. Nate Keeley will go to the circle. Jacob Schnapp, John Butita, James Farmer, Jack Johansson all on the ice. And Keeley will win this one. Nicely done. It goes back to James Farmer. Farmer across. They look to feed it out to center. Jacob Schnapp looking for it. Far side of the building. Here comes Schnapp. Charging towards the net. In on goal. Shut down by Stevens. Bailey Stevens makes a save on Schnapp. Well, Jacob Schnapp has 585 career penalty minutes, but he's also scored 57 times in his career. 128 points. He has 8 goals on the season so far. From the face-off. This is taken to the far side corner as they look to move it away from Keeley. We're closing in on the halfway point of a regulation time. We have 40 seconds until we'll see 10 minutes left to play in the Flow second period. Behind the goal line, Butita look to move it. Near side, Johansson. He takes a check as they'll battle for possession of the puck in behind the goal of Boris Babbitt. Babbitt looking on, pushing and shoving. No one really has it. It's pinned along the dasher at the bottom of the boards. Still moving, though, and eventually makes its way to James Farmer. Out towards center. Here we go. Schnapp fed to the head as Keeley looked to skate it down. And they continue to battle for it. This time it's in the near side. The attacking territory. So from the side of the circle in the half wall, up top, Butita holds the line. And steered that one high in the air, and then it falls down over the goal line. 9:44 left to go in the period. Here's Johansson, finds it, trying to curl it back to the top of the circle, and the Zydeco ready for it. They took it away. And we have a stoppage, and this will take us to the media timeouts. All right, media timeout. We'll be right back with more Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate around Winston-Salem and the Triad? Meet Jennifer Sapp, your trusted local realtor. With nearly 30 years of deep experience, Jennifer specializes in everything from historic homes and remodels to investment properties, college town housing, and short sales. She's known for honesty, integrity, and making the process as stress-free as possible. Ready to make your move? Call 336-782-3148 or visit jensapprealty.com today.
Did you know that not changing your engine oil can result in engine failure? Regular oil changes can extend the life of your engine and reduce the risk of engine failure. Schedule your next oil change on the Flow Garage app. The more you know with Flow.
Welcome back inside the Raising Cane's at River Center here on the banks of the Mississippi in Baton Rouge as we return from this media timeout. 9:35 left to go in the Flow second period. They have enlisted the assist of a ladder, which I can tell you is never good. But I was wondering why that last play was stopped, and I thought that maybe I saw the official or the linesman point towards the far side corner and a stanchion or maybe a piece of the netting that had dropped down, and that appears to be what they're working on. Now, I know if you're watching on the video side of things, they are showing crowd shots, but this is to the left of the Thunderbirds bench, and that was evidently why they stopped the game to send us to that media timeout, as they had some sort of an issue on the far side there, and so they have a member of the maintenance crew that has scaled a ladder and is working at the top of the glass. And that's really the opposite corner from where I am. I am at the hash marks side of the near side circle in Twin City's defensive zone here in the second period. And so I am across from the benches. I've got nearly the same view that you do online, though, on the video side. I mentioned this last night. The center ice video feed is coming from about 100 feet to my right or so. So they've not yet shown it here from the production feed. We got a quick look there at section 129 that's occupied by several Thunderbirds fans. But as they continue to work the camera here, now zooming back into the crowd. But this is going on again on the far side. If you're watching and the video feed is like it is typically during the game and during the action, this will be the top right of your screen where this issue is. And the netting looks to be somewhat in place, at least from where I am. But now I see maybe a piece of the top of the glass has just been passed down. And so the official recognized this and stopped the play. And there may be a gap, and I think maybe that's the issue. There could be a gap there between the top of the glass and the stanchions. And so maybe that's what we have here. I think they just adjusted the glass. I think they've raised it. And so the top of the glass, they're in the corner, and they're going to replace this as they have it. Yeah, they're going to need more than one or two people working on this. They've got the entire pane of glass raised, and they're looking to push it higher and higher. My guess is it's got to come straight out the top, and then they will look to replace it. This is, now they've got a couple of players over there looking to help. Well, if that falls forward or backward, we are really going to have a stoppage. But so this is, again, taking a while, and my guess is they're trying to replace the entire pane of glass. They've made no announcement, I think, about what the issue is here in the building, but they are continuing to work on this. And I don't think we've seen a shot of it on the video feed as the fans are dancing along and having fun. Slight equipment failure. All right, so there's the announcement that we are officially in a delay here due to a slight equipment failure. And again, from where I'm sitting, it's very difficult to see exactly what the issue was that led to this. But again, credit to the officials down there who saw it and stopped the game and knew that there was a problem. And maybe they're not going to bring it all the way out, as they've only raised it here maybe, I'll say 2 feet. But they have a crew down there of, I don't know, 7, 8 people that are looking on and working on this. And so I'm not sure if the end goal is to raise it out completely and replace it, or if they're just attempting to raise it and potentially put a stanchion back in place. But now we have players that are just meeting together out on the ice, trying to keep the legs warm. And the good news is this is not tomorrow's game on Sunday. There they show it briefly, so they pass the camera back by it, but you could see it there briefly, the work that was going on at the bottom right if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook or Sportfy. I think the goal of the production staff and the cameraman here, maybe they're trying to show each individual fan who's here tonight. They might have time to do that here during this break. Well, we're right about halfway. We got 9:35 left to go in this second period, so we can give you an update on what we've seen so far. It was the Thunderbirds to take a 2-0 lead with a couple of power play goals in the first period. 8:06 and 17:13, the time of the scoring plays. Roman Kramer with a power play goal at 8:06, and John Butita with a power play goal at 17:13. It was Zach White and Josh LaBelle who assisted on the power play goal from Kramer, and then an assist for Chris Mott on the power play goal from Butita.
Great crowd. We love having you here. You're one of the funnest crowds we've had all year. Let's make some noise for yourself.
I was waiting to see if they were going to give us an update. They have lowered the glass back down into a similar position to which it started this process. It looks even to me from here, but again, I think they were just raising it so they could continue to work and do some maintenance. We have a gentleman standing on the top of the boards outside of the glass on the other side. Jake Cox on the board, even strength scoring play in the first period for Baton Rouge to make it 2-1. Shots on net, 13-5, favoring the Thunderbirds in the first. Here in the second period, it's a 9-2 shots on goal advantage as it shows online, but we can see on the board it's 25-8. And so there we go. Finally, we've got a bird's eye view here of what I've been describing to you for several minutes, but they've got a stanchion, obviously, that's loose, needing to be put back into position.
What I'm talking about is the wave.
But now, as they move out again, you can see the players just chatting and keeping the legs warm and trying to find something to do here during this break. And now they're going to try to get the wave going, which is often something to do during breaks in sporting events. And so I guess that's what they're going to have to entertain everyone with. Now the stanchion is being put back into place, and now the officials are skating away. There's a hammer that I can see from here that's out. And I think they've told everyone we're going to go ahead and get back to playing. So they must be satisfied with the work that's being done. there's disagreement on where the face-off should be. And so the Thunderbirds, I think, are trying to get this face-off put into the offensive zone. And it's going to come outside the zone. All right, well, the good news is we're almost ready to play, I think. Still with one official and one linesman across the ring, trying to make sure that the repairs have been made, and they're satisfied with that. Bob Langdon is the referee that is manning that area for now. And we have dueling ladders going on, as there's a ladder that's being raised to the near side, and they're working on the netting from there. So evidently everything got shifted around, but finally we're going to play hockey as we are back. So we apologize for that delay, but Josh LaBelle's got it here. He will go across the rink with a pass. So again, it's a 1-goal lead for the Thunderbirds at 2-1 here, just crossing over the halfway point in regulation. Zydeco have it in from center with Chris Hansen, but they'll call this back at the blue line for an offside. Out-of-town scoreboard report. Athens continuing to lead PD 3-2 on the road in the third period. 8-2 the lead for Binghamton over Watertown. 3-3 to score Monroe and Columbus. Port Huron leading Indiana by a goal at 3-2. And Blue Ridge has taken now a 1-goal advantage at 3-2 on the road over Danbury. Here's a shot off the post from Kason Gallant as he broke onside. And once again, I said this, I don't know how many times, nearly had his first as a Thunderbird. He's been all over the ice here to begin the weekend. That top line looking good and producing. Long shot in on Babick here goes wide. In front goes off the boot of Craig, and then a shot goes off the outside of the net. Here comes Zach White, powers his way onside, holding on to it, curling around. Doesn't fire, across, finds Gallant, rolls on him, put it back down in front of the net, looking to shoot it in on Stevens. He crouches down and was able to see that one go into the corner. Now LaBelle holds the line, zips it across to Connor Craig. Craig goes down in the corner, given a rough ride there, and the Zydeco will take possession of it. Onside a chance. Shot, save made by Boris Babick. It goes into the glove, and he gives it a squeeze to hold on to it. Well, Babick was ready for that one. He didn't come out all the way as if he was trying to play it, but he set himself, and then he went about maybe a foot towards the shooter just to make sure that he was going to cut down the angle. He had room to back up if he needed to, but he was expecting a shot from the top of the circle, and that's about where it came from. And then just watched it bounce off of the chest protector and right in the glove. Long shot here off the faceoff. Pinball's wide of the goal. Off a redirect. Down here by Mott. Mott to Johansson. Johansson to Farmer. James Farmer over the Raising Cane's River Center logo at center. And now into the corner in the attacking area. Back behind the net. Open was Mott in front of the goal. They couldn't get it to him as Dumas had it, and he was calling for it. Mott was. Down here by Baton Rouge. They'll cross over the red line. Top of the far side circle. No shot. They pass it back high in the zone. Nick Kitola. He's got it. Now in the corner. Up top. Shot. Deflected. Falls down. That one did not make it to Boris Babick. Babick looks on. Over the left shoulder. Peering into the corner. Now back behind. Back the other way. Back and forth. Trying to keep his eyes on the puck as it's moving around. In front here a chance. Shot. Glove save. Boris Babick. 7:17 left to go in the Flow second period. Nicely done by number 35.
Zydeco fans, let's make some noise!
Nate Keeley will go to the face-off circle. And down he goes. It's now back behind the net. Played by Matt Garcia. Far side, he was looking to move it out of the zone. Back across. Kate Hanley, he'll try to get to it. And out to center. Zydeco will collect it from there. Just along the red line. And 6:55 to play in the Flow second period. Jacob Schnapp applying some pressure as they look to move it across. There's a tie-up with Keeley involved. Down behind the goal line. Kate Hanley, they pressure him. Hanley got away from it though as he backtracked behind the goal. Gave it to Garcia. He knew a check was coming and he sidestepped it. Baton Rouge is to it though, trying to tie the game here in the second period. They'll go across. And the shot kicked out by Babick. Just along the red line. Skipped across. Now back into the defensive end. And out towards center he goes. Here's Hanley. Hanley searching for it. And played along the blue line. Out towards the neutral zone. This one goes around Hanley. And he's looking to play it. Being held up. Back behind the line. Crunching check on Garcia, and then found by Keeley back behind the net. Out to center. Way down it goes. And in behind the line. So Zydeco will catch up to it. And they'll look to move it out. From along the red line. Chance onside here. Cox has it. And swatted away from him. Into the near side corner. In front. Bouncing around. And here's White. White goes out to the red line. And And back the other way. Chance for the Zydeco. Long shot goes off the glass, just wide. Back behind the goal again. White looking to move it out. Here's Gallant. Drag move. Pretty play and on goal. Backhand drive was shut down. Connor Craig shooting one. And a save made again by Stevens here on the right pad. Back across. They look to chip it across the red line at center. Played ahead and behind the line. Far side of the building. We'll see if Craig can get to it. Kramer goes off the backhand. LaBelle flying over. Back behind the net. Here's Kramer. Chopped at. Then it's White. Back down again for LaBelle. So LaBelle has room, and he will glide it across to White. White out towards center. They pressure him. They'll take it away from him, and then he gets it again. Tried to bump it along. What a pass there from Kramer to find LaBelle. LaBelle shoots it, blocked, and into the possession of goaltender Stevens. All right, it's the final media timeout of the Flow second period. We'll step aside and be right back with more Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
I want to stop being sidelined by pain. I want to tell him I'm in. I want a surgeon who speaks more knees than he can count. I want the best care in the game. I want a team that's with me every step of the way. I want to bounce back fast. I want to show them my best is yet to come.
For the best orthopedic care, you want Novant. Novant Health. Best surgeons, amazing nurses, remarkable care.
What are you doing, bub?
Just fixing my chair.
You should call Contract Business Solutions.
Good idea. I'll give them a call.
Proudly serving the Piedmont Triad area for over 17 years, Contract Business Solutions partners with leading manufacturers to create innovative, budget-friendly workspaces. From design and layout to delivery and installation, explore our capabilities at cbsworkspaces.com.
Offensive zone face-off on the way. Following the media timeout, they continue to work, by the way, outside the rink on the issue that's held the game up a bit. Here we go. Johansson shooting it. Off the glass it goes. It rattles its way around and out towards the neutral zone. From the red line, Zydeco will pull it back into the defensive territory. They will go across with a long pass. 16 minutes have been played here in the Flow second period. Chance onside. Shot goes back behind Babic. And it's in on him off a deflection and found by Dumas. Fans wanted a penalty. Dumas wants the puck. He's got it. Moves it to Salak. Salak onside. Looks to get it back to him. Centers in front, and it was right there on the doorstep. Broken stick behind the goal from Salak. Chance onside for the Zydeco. 3.5 left to go in the second period. Harwell bumps it up, then it goes back, and it's played ahead by Johansson. Johansson, top of the near side circle, looks to shoot it. Took it back behind the goal, holding on to it, bumps it around. Here's Butita, steps up, shoots it, blocked. Cade Hanley fires off a deflection in front. This also goes wide. 3:07 left to play in the second period. Down behind the goal line. Behind the net, they'll fight for possession from there. As there's several players battling back and forth. Puck's not moving for now. In behind the goal. Still not moving. This is in Twin City's attacking territory. 2:44 left in the period. As they look to move it around, finally it comes free. Thunderbirds have it. Up top. Long shot. In on goal off the deflection. Save made and covered up by Bailey Stevens. That was the 30th shot on goal tonight for Twin City. It's 2-1. Thunderbirds in front here on the road in the Flow second period. Hope you enjoy the second part of the Coach Harry Show coming up in the second intermission break. Coach Harry Show was live at Dave & Buster's on Tuesday. The replay can be found online on Thursday. And we will head to Little Italy for the next show on the way this week. The full Cup of Joe with Joe Cangelosi, that can be found tomorrow online. Craig, a long shot here off the face-off. Another quick save in the game by Stevens. Now from the near side, White has Kramer to his right, Gallant to his left. Craig open high in the zone, good win to White to Gallant. Gallant will turn and fire it in the far side corner. Down it goes, 2:17 left to play. In the flow second period. Back behind the goal. See if Craig can come crashing in. Out of the side of the circle. Batted down. There's a heavy hit from Craig, and I can see now on the near side, this glass also does not look like it's properly positioned. There's gaps with the glass leaning out a few inches. That may be what's going on the far side. Stationed in the corner of this arena. And so we've got LaBelle now playing it here on the defensive end. They've had some problems with the glass tonight. Had a bit of a hold up earlier in this period. Cox is onside with it, try to drop it ahead, goes bouncing off of Craig. Behind the goal line, 1.5 left to go here in the second period. Far side post, LaBelle applying pressure up top, they'll pass it around in front, off the deflection, in front of Babick. He was out of the blue paint, and he's able to stop that one. Mott gives the pass to Craig. Craig back to Mott, one-timer, save made, but it's free in front of the goal. And the Zydeco felt the pressure, they clear it. Icing is the call. 64 seconds left to go. And tonight's flow second period. Athens on the board again. It's 4-2 on the road against the Ice Cats. The Black Bears of Binghamton in double digits. 10-2 over Watertown in the third period. Left circle face-off for Mott as goaltender Bailey Stevens wants a little bit more time here to make sure his mask is okay. Replaces that, good to go. And we'll see Mott ready to win this face-off. Near side will be Jan Salak. And also near side, high in the zone, Jack Johansson. So we'll see if Johansson or Salak will get it here off the backhand of Mott. Now it looks like he changed his mind and wanted to go forehand. He stepped in, and he does try to win it the forehand, and he does. All right. Farmer fanned on his shot. He'll try him near side to Jack Johansson. In front they go, and this one bouncing away from Dumas. We're under 1 minute left to go in the flow second period. Down behind the goal. No battle for it. Back to the near side. Here's Mott. See if Twin City can find one late in this period to go back up by 2 goals. They had a lead at 2-0 earlier tonight. This one got by Jack Johansson. Salak fighting for it with Farmer, and eventually they're able to take it away. A rush up the rink. Mott cuts over the logo with speed at center. Still with it. They'll hold him up, and Salak will look to move it across the zone. 18 seconds left in the flow second period. In front, Mott, glove save by Stevens. 12.1 seconds left to go in period number 2. Shots are 33-15.
Check one last time in intermission to make sure your bid is the highest bid. All right. Get those bids in by the end of the second intermission.
Left circle face off, and it never happened. We'll try it again. And that time it's down. Zach White looking for it. Found it. Trying to go back in front. He got tackled down from behind, and with just 3 seconds left, it's down behind the goal line, and that's how period 2 will end. Maybe not here. One last chance. And that play to the far side post. I don't think it would have counted, but they tried to get one in anyway. Okay, so that will take us into our second intermission break with the Thunderbirds in front. Score is 2-1. Shots are 33-15. As the first period saw 3 goals. 2 for the Thunderbirds and 1 for the Zydeco. Second period, no scoring, just like last night's third period. And so we begin the third period, same place we started the second period, with the Thunderbirds in front at 2-1. Shots on net in the first period were 13-5. Shots on net there in the second period, 20-10. So the Thunderbirds are out shooting the Zydeco 33-15 through 40 minutes of tonight's game. One last look at the out-of-town scoreboard report before we go into the break, and it's Athens 4 and PD 3. And that's in the third period. Columbus wins it in overtime, 4-3 on home ice over Monroe. Blue Ridge leading Danbury 4-2 in the third period. Binghamton up by 8 goals on the road against Watertown as we check in on the scores from around the league. All right, second intermission break on the way. We hope that you enjoy the intermission programming, and we thank you for tuning in tonight for Twin City Thunderbirds hockey. It is 2-1 after 2.
Want an experience that wakes you up? A place where you can scream to your heart's delight? Go ahead. No one will hear you anyway. Here, you don't just watch. You feel. Come as you are and have a damn good time. That rumble you hear, that growl you feel, that's us.
Gwin Services has been serving North Carolina for over 50 years, ensuring the safety and comfort of our customers' homes. We take pride in bringing together the best electricians, plumbers, and heating and cooling technicians to bring convenience and unbeatable value to our customers. Life can be hectic. What better way to simplify than to have one company you trust to take care of all of your home's repair needs? Since 1972, integrity and customer satisfaction have been at the heart of everything we do. We are proud to have built a name our neighbors trust, one that provides peace of mind and a service that can be relied on, today, tomorrow, and for years to come. Thank you for trusting Gwin Services with your home. We are proud to stand behind the work we do every single day to serve our friends and neighbors here in North Carolina. We are Gwin Services. One call does it all.
When you compete at your best, you need a team that keeps you moving. At Yadkin Physical Therapy, we're proud to be the official physical therapy provider of the Twin City Thunderbirds. From the first evaluation to hands-on treatment, we focus on what matters, reducing pain, restoring mobility, and building confidence. Because performance isn't just about recovering, it's about training smarter, strength, stability, balance, and control. Our therapists tailor every plan to each individual so you can return to the ice, the gym, or the job feeling stronger. The same level of care we provide the Thunderbirds is here for our whole community. Students, weekend warriors, and families helping you stay healthy and perform at your best. Yadkin Physical Therapy in Yadkinville. Call 336-677-1800 or email ypt@yadkinphysicaltherapy.com.
As I said, for the fans here this year and the 3 years I've been here, they've been great, win, lose, or draw, and everybody's sad when we lose, but as I said, the support's still there, and that's all we need. Just all you can do is be there for us, and we appreciate it.
There's a question on here about the rotation of goalies. We already touched on that one. This one says, Coach, what is simply your favorite thing about coaching?
couple things, like I've really enjoyed the city here, and other cities I've been in. I've enjoyed the city. I've enjoyed the people. I enjoy practice and the games and that, but I think the camaraderie with the players, and when you say camaraderie, I don't get very close with them. I do and I don't. People always ask, well, how's the bus? And, just being on the bus sometimes is cool, or just sitting in the dressing room after a practice, or talking, or being in the room bringing the guys in. But I just think it's being around the game, and but I love working at practice, but I love the games. I love you play Friday night and win, lose or draw, and then all of a sudden Friday night, okay, what am I going to do Saturday to either get the boys back on track or go in there and kick their throw a garbage can at them and get them going for the next night. You're not sure what you're going to do. So it's your mind's always going 24/7. Doesn't matter what win, lose or draw, or playing one game or two games. But I just think the whole atmosphere, as I said, I've been places where as I said, this feels like home to me. So it's always good, like after a game or during the week when you're not playing or something. I love the city and the people that I've met here so far, and the fans. And as I said, and then game time and practice, as I said, I just really enjoy it. And I love going to the rink. And if you have a job and you wake up in the morning, and it's not 100% of the time, but I'm going to say probably 99.9% of the time you wake up, and I love going to the rink and working with the guys.
This question asks, in your opinion here so far this season, what period specifically do you think that we're the strongest in?
That's a great question. Yeah. At the start of the year, I think, definitely it wasn't the first.
Right.
Then I know we've had some real good second periods, and then some third periods. Maybe the second period, if you're going to really go into it, I think I still think we got to be better in the third in general. But then we've played some great first periods. But I think in general over the year, if you look at it, second period's probably been our one period that we've probably played the best.
Okay. Next question here just asks, do other teams have coaches shows? I think some do and some don't.
Yeah, some do, some don't. Some do it just like just from their office. They don't do it. I think they don't do it in a setting like this. They'll do it like just in their office and on a Tuesday night, I think. And I don't know if it's live or not live. I'm not really sure. So I know some other organizations. I was in Toledo in the East Coast League, and we had a Tuesday night coaches show all the time, and just different places. I've coached where all of a sudden, like even this year here, like I think on Saturday afternoon, I'm always on the one station there. Yep. They always call me, and I'm on there quite a bit. But when I was in Fort Worth, I was on the one night a week or something, like at 5 o'clock. I'd always be on for a couple minutes, talk about the game and the team and stuff like that. So, but this setting here, as I said, just when I was in Toledo. Okay. But I know other teams do some things, but not maybe as extravagant as we have.
Okay. We got a couple of questions relating to the Athens game specifically. Somebody asked if you caught the kiss cam there. We had a couple players that start on that during the game.
Actually, I looked up at the one time in the kiss cam, and it was actually me, but there was nobody around, so I wasn't quite sure what to do. So, but yeah, no, I looked up again, and it was those two guys were there, so I saw that. So,
yeah. The question says, did the bus do okay?
The bus?
The bus. As far as I know, it was good.
Oh yeah, we're good. We're all good. We're all good.
And then another question, and this I've had this a couple times, but we had the instance in that game there. You almost never see it, but they thought they'd scored a goal. They turned the lights out, and it was just kind of mayhem from there.
My son played in the Southern Pro League, and the one team does it all the time. And I to be honest with you, I'm not a big fan of it. I don't know. I guess we were in Monroe when they did it, and the other night I was a little upset about it. All of a sudden we had they should have blown the whistle right away as soon as the lights went out, because it was like that. And I think the referee, I don't know if I'm not sure what he did, but all of a sudden we had a 2-on-1. So when I called him over and I said, we don't get a whole lot of 2-on-1s, and yet we get a 2-on-1 and you call the whistle at the time. So I had to blow it. I was like, well, you could have blown it 10 seconds earlier, and I probably wouldn't have been so upset. But just trigger happy, just a little trigger happy. And unfortunately, and as I said, in a situation like that too, if the lights stay on, we got a 2-on-1. So right. Who knows? But
Jacob Schnapp was not in the game, and while we're talking about players and health, there's a question about him. How's he doing?
He skated today. And hopefully we'll see how he is tomorrow. And it's always the second day. Everyone says, "Oh, how does he feel today?" Well, I feel great today, and I've come in the next day, and it's like he's sore again. So I think he's ready. He'll be playing Friday, I'm pretty sure.
And speaking of injuries, another question, asks if this season has had a lot of those, an excessive amount compared to maybe some years you've had in the past.
Yeah, probably a little more, but it's been it hasn't been the real bad ones. It's just we play Friday night, now we can't play Saturday, and then or those situations, or like the other day there, I've had 3 guys get hurt in practice. Whitey got hurt in practice, Yuri got hurt in practice, and then Garcia got hit in the mouth with the puck, and he got hurt in practice. So we've had practice hasn't been our friend as far as injuries concerned, but it just seems like it's been the nagging ones this year more than the major ones, and touch wood that that we don't get any of those, but it's just been those, and that's the problem where they don't really need to go on IR. I think Mikey might have been the one that was on the IR, but it's those ones where you put a guy on IR more for less just to give him a rest too, but it's a situation where it's just they miss one and then they come back, and then the lineup changes, and then the lineup changes again. So the consistency there hasn't been there like we like. That's all.
We've had in the facility a couple of club hockey events over the last few weeks. Someone wanted to know how the locker room was left afterwards. And if
it was good
okay.
this year.
Yeah.
Last year there was a couple of issues. We had these like night lights or something, and then they ripped them out, and then we had a cabinet that they opened up a little bit. But and this year was fine. They did a good job. It was all clear, and as I said, I just apparently the team that was in there before their last game didn't win, so they were a little upset. But still no excuse. But this year was fine.
Okay, good. I had a question here about how much food and pillows were collected as we had that going on Saturday night. 68 pillows officially, as I just texted during the break and got the answer on that. But we want to let everyone know that you can still drop off pillows during business hours this week from 10 to 4. So if you'd still like to come out and donate, you can do that. And we got 3 full boxes of food items. That was the other note that they wanted passed along.
And that goes to the food bank, right?
Yes. Second Harvest, was involved in that. So
we'd like to thank everybody for that.
Yes,
those
absolutely.
are great causes,
Yep.
and it's just like the Teddy Bears night. They go to a great cause, and so does the food. So we'd like to say thank you for that.
Yep. And then the final question I have here, Coach, and we had it asked a couple of times, with Gus Ford leaving, there's an A that's available on the sweater. Have you thought about maybe who the next guy will be for that?
Yeah, I know who it's going to be, and I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag tonight. There's going to be a change, and as I said, we'll wait. That'll be a surprise.
Okay.
I don't want to throw it out tonight. I'll let the cat out of the bag the next time we play.
Sounds good. Normally we take a quick break, but we're up here to 8 o'clock, so we can just go ahead and get to our final segment, which is always the weekend preview. I know that we asked about the 9 points earlier and what it's going to take, but you're going to get to see these guys for one weekend this season. It's coming up here. You got 3 games, and what will the plan be coming up?
Well, we're going to have to play. We're going to have to go down there and earn our points and make sure that we're ready. And I'm going to need all 20 guys pulling. And if someone doesn't play Friday night, they might play Saturday night. So, but we need everybody pulling this week. And when we get on the bus to come home Sunday night, we've got to be in a position where we've taken care of our business, and that's all we can ask for. And hopefully somebody else helps us out too. But we got to go down there, play tight, play the way we can play for 60 minutes, all 3 games, and after that, if we do that, then we'll give ourselves a chance.
Anything else before we close the show?
No, just like to thank everybody for coming. Again, we don't. I say it a lot, but coming back home there last Friday and Saturday night was a great feeling, and the support is always great. But another week or so before we come back. But thanks for all the support, and we'll see you.
Thanks.
When it comes to performance, speed matters, just like on the ice. Introducing same-day dental crowns right here at Twin Oaks Dentistry. With cutting-edge technology, we craft crowns on site, eliminating the need for temporary. As proud sponsors of the Thunderbirds, we understand the need for top-notch performance. We're more than just dental care. We're your partners in achieving your best smile.
2 pillows, endless possibilities. At Cotton & Crate, we make it easy to refresh your home season after season. Our 18 by 18 and 12 by 20 pillow sizes pair perfectly with our seasonal collections of interchangeable covers, so you can refresh your style anytime without cluttering up your closet. We're proud to team up with the Twin City Thunderbirds, celebrating hometown spirit and the comfort of home on and off the ice. Thunderbirds fans, enjoy $5 off your order at cottonandcrate.com with the code TBIRDS5OFF. Cotton & Crate, 2 pillows, endless possibilities.
Maple Chase Golf and Country Club offers the best in recreational amenities in the Triad. Come enjoy a meal at the Pine Brook Bar and Grill, relax by our pool and cabana, and gear up at the Pro Shop while sharpening your skills on our 9,000 square foot putting green, and play around on our 18-hole Ellis Maples Design Championship Golf Course. You can find out more at maplechasecc.com. That's maplechasecc.com.
Flow Offer to Purchase makes it easy for you to generate an appraisal for a vehicle online in under 5 minutes. You can confidently use Flow Offer to Purchase to determine your vehicle's trade-in value or to get a real offer to sell it to us. Here at Flow, we've always had a transparent, interactive appraisal process that our customers love. We developed our Flow Offer to Purchase tool to offer you that same great experience online or through our Flow Garage app anytime, anywhere. Using Flow Offer to Purchase is simple. Either enter your license plate number or VIN, and the system will pull up basic information about your vehicle. Some vehicles have options or extras that need to be selected in order to pull an accurate value. Then just tell us about the current condition of a few things like your tires, dents and scratches, or mechanical issues. From there, a real offer on your vehicle, whether you buy from us or not, is just a click away. Just a heads up, our staff will check over your vehicle to ensure your Flow Offer to Purchase is accurate. Your satisfaction is our priority. Flow Automotive dealerships have processed tens of thousands of vehicles using Flow Offer to Purchase, which has resulted in buying many thousands of cars from customers. Try Flow Offer to Purchase for free today. You can access this tool by clicking Sell Trade on flowauto.com or your dealer site by starting the Sell Trade dialog in the center of the homepage.
silent auction. The silent auction ends in 2 minutes and 44 seconds. If you have a bid in, go check and make sure your final bid is where you want it. Go and put your final bids in now.
All right, everyone, welcome back inside the Raising Cane's River Center. It could be called the Raising Cane's Waterfall Center. It is raining indoors here. As of now, I will be calling this game through a waterfall. There is water pouring out of the roof in front of me, maybe 30 feet in front of me. Now, the good news is no one bought the tickets there anyway, so no one has had to move, as the crowd is quite sparse. But I can tell you that you do not want to be seated 20 feet in front of me right now. And I know that they were calling for rain and bad weather, but I have been around a while. I've done a lot. This is going to be the first time I've called a hockey game visually through a waterfall. Add that to the list. Puck drop at center. The third period is underway. You can probably hear this on the crowd mic. So you can briefly hear that there over the other side of the crowd mic. So again, it's raining inside here. I noticed this a little bit during the break, and it just looked like, maybe we've got a little bit of a leak. Not condensation, not a huge problem, but it has picked up significantly. Thankfully, I'm dry up here. My equipment is dry. And I'm sure this audio clip might end up somewhere on some account, but again, it's raining in front of me. Icing called against the Thunderbirds with 19:43 left to go in our third period. It's the Culver's third period. Defensive zone face-off on the way. Hungry fans, nothing beats a Culver's Butterburger. Fresh and ever frozen beef, seared to perfection and served on a lightly buttered toasted bun. Stop by Culver's at 2973 Fair Lawn Drive in Winston-Salem today. Culver's, welcome to Delicious. Far side of the building, in front of the net. Good shot there and on Stevens from Gallant, but he turned it away. Shots are now 35-15. They got 34 up on the board. Good drive there by Gallant, open in the attacking area. Out to center. It's Farmer. As he looks to play this ahead, we have several folks now gathering around and taking pictures of this. I've done the same from my view. You just never know what you're going to have. In front of the goal here. Thankfully, I'm dry again. If this was on the equipment up here, we'd really have some problems. As I also mentioned, those seats, they weren't being used anyway. Farmer will go looking for it here beneath the goal line as Mott jumps in. Good steal there from Mott to move it along to Kramer. Out he goes. Here's Mott in from center. Doesn't fire. Now he does. Just wide of the goal. Now LaBelle. They'll look to find it. Tries to go across the zone. Then back for Connor Craig. Here's LaBelle. LaBelle's got room. He'll squeeze it across now to Mott. In between the two circles, LaBelle takes it back behind the goal, holding on to it. The rain is letting up indoors, by the way. It's slowed down significantly, so that's good. Bell goes across. Now this will be fired out to the logo at center. Back to the near side along the red line. We'll see if Craig can find it. Now it's Salak. Salak turning. And he looks to go ahead. Retreats back again, though. Finds Mott. Thunderbirds in front by a goal. We play 5-on-5 for now. LaBelle goes in front and slides it up to Salak, but he's in too soon, and he is offside. Hey, Thunderbirds fans, got a sweet tooth? Well, Culver's fresh frozen custard is rich, creamy, and made in small batches all day, every day. Swing by Culver's at 2973 Fair Lawn Drive in Winston-Salem and check out today's flavor. Culver's, welcome to Delicious. Face-off outside the attacking area. This is Keeley now looking for it as he slides it back to Hanley. Hanley goes out towards center. This one goes by Butita, and it's over the icing line, and then slipping and falling with Stevens. There could be multiple leaks out there. I don't know. He fell down, stood back up, and a good heavy hit there from Butita. Not. He'll try to find it. As Butita centers in front there. Second chance from Keeley is turned away. What an opportunity early on here in the Culver's third period. Meanwhile, the Zydeco onside. Long shot. It hit Boris Babic in the logo and then dropped down. He was able to scoop it up. Well, now they're bringing the caution tape out to block off the section, and maybe that's why they weren't selling seats there to begin with. There's some caution tape to my left, and there's 3 or 4 empty sections to my left that are also not being used. And so now they're going to bring that back up. And again, maybe that's why that wasn't used. Now we've got a gathering right here below me of maintenance workers, and this is quite the scene. Meanwhile, chance for White onside, centers it back across, and it rolls in on Stevens, and he will cover it. Now we have 16:46 left to go. We had a look at the out-of-town scoreboard report when we sent it to the break. It's Athens 4 and PD 3. That's showing to us is still in the third period. And Binghamton with a final score and a 10-2 win over Watertown. Here's a chance off the face-off. Driven ahead. And now they continue to work. They're going to block off the affected rows here. Standing waters down here below me, by the way. Hope everyone's safe and warm and dry back home. Long play in from center. This goes over the icing line, but no icing. So it's found by Jack Johansson. In front, stick save made there by Boris Babic. So Babic shut it down. And now Farmer will get to him as he looks to move it. Out to the red line at center. Chance onside here as Kason Gallant goes across. Back to the neutral zone. And back for the Zydeco. Zydeco will find it. They're looking to tie the game here in period number 3. Long shot in on Babic. He gave up a rebound, and he'll look to cover it here as a stick got broken flying from LaBelle. Or back behind LaBelle, I should say. 15:40 left to go in period number 3. Chasing it down is Connor Craig. He was the hero last night. Didn't know he was the hero when he scored his power play goal back in the second period. That made the difference. In a 3-2 win, Mott drops it back to him, scores! Connor Craig! 3-1, 15:24 left to go in the Culver's third period. So the Thunderbirds will score off the rush, and they'll go up by 2 again. It was a 2-goal lead briefly late in the first period, and now they have another one. Face off at center following that scoring play. Zydeco look to rip it out to center ice, and they will. They'll announce the goal. Offside here.
Number 5, Connor Craig. Assist goes to number 22.
They announce the goal to Connor Craig.
Number 9, Josh LaBelle. That's Thunderbirds 5 from 22 and 9.
5 from 22 and 9. So LaBelle gets an assist. Chris Mott all over the score sheet here so far on the weekend. We've got to finish this game, and then another one here tomorrow at 4:05. That's 4:05 Eastern. It'll be 3:05 here in the Central Time Zone. We'll be due for a media timeout for our radio listeners coming up next as we cross over the 5-minute mark of this third and final frame of regulation time. Connor Craig with a nice goal. Shot here from Keeley is turned away by Stevens. In front, Keeley scores! 4-1! That was shot 38 of the night, and Keeley finds the back of the net. Head coach Steve Harrison applauding. We can see that all the way across the rink here, and he has to like this effort. It's been a 1-goal game for quite a while. And it's been just sort of that tightly contested one-goal game. Thunderbirds had the advantage in the shots on goal department pretty heavily, but it was just a one-goal lead, and so it was playing as, again, just a tightly contested hockey game. Now this team starting to break it out and break it open in this third period. Zydeco looking to answer as they've now surrendered a few. Down 4-1. They go across the crease, and Chris Mott was there to steal it. Mott looks to take it over the blue line. There's a hit to him, or sorry, that's White. As now Gallant looks for it, and Zach White's a little slow to get up here. Looks like he wants to complete his shift. And he'll stay out for now. Okay, so that's good to see him continuing to play. Steps onside, Kramer, one-timer turned away by Stevens. He made a right pad save on Roman Kramer from the far side of the building. That's shot number 40. Here's Mott. Mott has it, steps onside, drives one. It's blocked though, and it falls down in behind the net. Heavy hit from Roman Kramer. Now he's in a disagreement in the corner as Kitola came over and greeted him. That'll be a nomination for the Amanzi hard hit of the game. Play here on goal that Babick makes a glove save on. All right, media timeout, 13-16 left to go in the Culver's third period. It's a 3-goal lead at 4-1. We'll be right back with more Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
When it comes to performance, speed matters, just like on the ice. Introducing same-day dental crowns right here at Twin Oaks Dentistry. With cutting-edge technology, we craft crowns on site, eliminating the need for temporary. As proud sponsors of the Thunderbirds, we understand the need for top-notch performance. We're more than just dental care. We're your partners in achieving your best smile.
Flo Cadillac is a proud sponsor of the Thunderbirds. Visit 1400 South Stratford Road for a free test drive. Or go online to flowcadillac.com to schedule a sales or service appointment.
Defensive zone face-off following the media timeout. Back behind the goal it goes. And Twin City will look to break this puck from the defensive zone. 4 goals on the board. It's a 3-goal lead. Last night, Thunderbirds fell behind by 2. Tonight, they got in front by 2. An answer from the Zydeco and Jake Cox, but since then, goals from Connor Craig and Nate Keeley. And those are the scoring plays here in the Culver's third period. There were no goals between these two teams in period number 2. Chance out towards center from Eric Alexi Sayanin. Now near side. And they'll try to drag this one along the blue paint. Good hold of the line by Garcia. He knew that pressure was coming. Up top, slap shot, and they looked for a deflection in front from Keeley. That one nearly worked out. Inside the line. Here's Hanley. Hanley will look to chip it down low. And we'll see if they can catch up to it. Butita across. Garcia, and he had his head up and wanted to shoot that one as he knew the net was empty. And he had some space to fire, but lost the handle, went out to the neutral zone. So the Thunderbirds take this opportunity to make some changes, still applying some pressure in the attacking area. It's out to center. Over the red line, a chance. Long shot, glove save made by Babick. All right, so we have 11:52 now left in our Culver's third period. Well, thanks everyone for tuning in tonight. I know the camera work has been a little bit shaky. Apologies for that as we have the home feed here, but thankfully everything's working, and that's half the battle. Thankfully everything's dry up here also. I didn't really realize that was a potential problem. Here's White in on goal and gloved up by Stevens. Well, again, my guess is the rain has gotten lighter outside because the waterfall has ceased, and so now I've got a clear picture, and it's good to see. They did come up here and block off the section to make sure that no one was going to slip and fall on the stairs. The nearest fans here in the section to my right that was not being affected. It was more in the aisle in the section to my left, which again has not been occupied except for the two that got engaged last night, as it would turn out. Johansson will find it, far side, looks to drive it out to the red line. Here we go with Kramer. Steps on side with it. Good move there from Kramer and tried to complete it. Had an option in front of the goal, but then he looked to flip it ahead. Goes into the corner. Back behind the net. Here's Kramer crashing in. Another good move there. This time he lost it though. The Zydeco will look to play it in front of their goaltender Stevens, and they will. 10:55 left to go in the Culver's third period. This one not done yet, but Twin City well on their way to collecting 3 additional points in the standings. And that is huge this time of the year. Good check there from Salak at center. Athens has defeated PD. The final score is 4-3 on the out-of-town scoreboard report, and they did it in regulation tonight. And so Twin City entered the weekend 10 points down to PD, as Babick will get to one and cover it here, but they were 10 points down, and after the game tonight, that deficit could drop to 5. We are the only game in the FPHL tomorrow, and so if they can win tonight and then win again tomorrow, you're talking about a 2-point deficit after the weekend in which you entered 10 points down. And so that would certainly go a long way to the efforts that the Thunderbirds are making in that fight for 4th to try to secure the final playoff spot available. Long shot here, and they score. It's 4-2. So from a face-off win, one goes fluttering past Babick, and it's a 2-goal game again. And so as I mentioned, this one's not over yet. Work to be done. Thunderbirds still in control though. Face off at center following the Zydeco's second scoring play of the night. A check from Mott, penalty called. And now it's going to be a power play following the goal for the Zydeco. They'll go to the man advantage. Well, this is not the place you want to be as Thunderbirds have a multi-goal lead, but certainly don't want to take penalties and give this Zydeco team any additional opportunities to claw their way back in the matchup. It'll be a boarding penalty to Chris Mott. And the Thunderbirds will go to the Bobo's Deli and Grill penalty kill. And so the penalty kill will empty over the boards and get ready to go here from the defensive zone. Defensive zone face-off for Nate Keeley. And he looks to win this one. Goes to far side corner. And the Zydeco go to work on the power play. Far side circle, long shot. Save made by Babbitt. Thunderbirds get to it. The clear is on, but unable to leave the zone. They'll keep it onside, just along the blue paint. Snapping it around. Scott Shurik. Down low, back behind the line with Garcia racing over, trying to play it here. There's a tie-up. Garcia, back and forth he goes. High in the zone as they try to get the tip. And a penalties called with this scrum involving Garcia. And off the ice went the goaltender Stevens. I think the Thunderbirds may go down 5-on-3 here. Unless there was an additional penalty, Stevens was racing off the ice. The penalty was called from center ice, and Garcia is really upset. We'll have to tell you about it when we come back because this takes us to immediate timeout. We'll be right back. It's 4-2 with more Twin City Thunderbirds hockey.
Flow Offer to Purchase makes it easy for you to generate an appraisal for a vehicle online in under 5 minutes. You can confidently use Flow Offer to Purchase to determine your vehicle's trade-in value or to get a real offer to sell it to us. Here at Flow, we've always had a transparent, interactive appraisal process that our customers love. We developed our Flow Offer to Purchase tool to offer you that same great experience online or through our Flow Garage app anytime, anywhere. Using Flow Offer to Purchase is simple. Either enter your license plate number or VIN, and the system will pull up basic information about your vehicle. Some vehicles have options or extras that need to be selected in order to pull an accurate value. Then just tell us about the current condition of a few things like your tires, dents and scratches, or mechanical issues. From there, a real offer on your vehicle, whether you buy from us or not, is just a click away. Just a heads up, our staff will check over your vehicle to ensure your Flow Offer to Purchase is accurate. Your satisfaction is our priority. Flow Automotive dealerships have processed tens of thousands of vehicles using Flow Offer to Purchase, which has resulted in buying many thousands of cars from customers. Try Flow Offer to Purchase for free today. You can access this tool by clicking Sell Trade on flowauto.com or your dealer site by starting the Sell Trade dialog in the center of the homepage.
Number 7, Matthew Garcia, serving a 2-minute minor penalty for slashing. That's Thunderbirds number 7, 2-minute slashing.
And so we heard it there, a slashing penalty to Matt Garcia. It's 1 minute, 22 seconds of 5-on-3 penalty kill time here for the Thunderbirds as we're back. Zydeco misplayed it, so it's out towards center, and they'll work from there with 9:20 left to go in the Culver's third period. It's a 2-goal game. Thunderbirds up 2 on the board. They're down 2 on the ice, however. Zydeco set up onside. Robo's Deli and Grill penalty kill. See what Twin City can do here. Top of the far side circle. They'll dish it down low. Look out from the middle. Shot! Save made by the stick of Boris Babic. He looked back behind him. He got it with the stick, and the clear is out to center. Baton Rouge will try it again as they look to move around Schnapp. Far side of the building. No play on it yet. Now they'll look to encroach towards the net. Near side is Kitola. Gives the pass. Back into the corner. Kitola loads up, doesn't shoot it. Near side post. Across they go, back to a play, they score. And the Zydeco will strike on the man advantage to make this a 1-goal game. Chris Mott boarding and Matt Garcia slashing. The penalties affecting that play there on the ice. Shots are even here in the third period at 8-8. Face off the logo at center, and we are back. Far side corner, chasing after it. There's Jack Johansson. Thunderbirds to it, and they'll rip it down the rink on the clear. It's a 5-on-4 power play now for the Zydeco as they look to tie the game. We're back in a 1-goal score. Thunderbirds were once up by 3. A couple of multi-goal leads here tonight. They won it by 1 last night. Twin City to it, and from a stick deflection, they tried to clear. The stick went out to center, but the puck did not. This could be trouble. That was Keeley who broke the twig. It snapped on him. Keeley's without a stick. Up top, they'll move it around here on the power play as they look to tie it. Shot of the way, it's off the glass. A riser from Tyler Larwood. Not out to center. Second surge, still not out. Back behind the goal. Farmer, he got taken down. We continue at 5-on-4. Out to center ice it goes. Coach Harrison screaming at the referee. 7.5 left to play. Out of the box. is Matt Garcia. All right, so we have a 1-goal game. And 4-3 on the scoreboard, favoring the Thunderbirds. Shots are 41-24. It's back into the defensive end for Twin City. We'll see if the Thunderbirds can settle back down here in the third period. They were really controlling things nicely, but a couple of quick goals has changed the dynamic of the matchup right now. Across they go. Now it's out to center, and Josh LaBelle's got some room here, and he'll back up and swing it across. Gallant just got blasted down from behind. I'm surprised that wasn't called. Kramer in on goal, dropped it back. They fire one, shot block. And that was on Zach White. And now it's a 2-on-1 with a Zydeco looking to tie it. They go across. They'll drop it back, and it goes just wide. On the top of the goal and back down behind the net. 6 minutes and 20 seconds left in the third. Penalty called against LaBelle, back behind the play on a slash. And Baton Rouge is going to go to the power play again. We've got a disagreement outside of Twin City's attacking territory. And that will break away. Well, the Bobo's Deli and Grill penalty kill will be tested yet again. Thunderbirds have now taken the last 3 penalties in tonight's third period. Kim Miettinen and Scott Shurik, 9:45 and 11:27, the times of the 2 most recent goals in the game. Back behind the net, played here by Farmer. Nicely done, out to Schnock. Onside, Keeley. Keeley with a chance, curls his way back behind the goal. Pushed away from the puck, and the Zydeco look to work here on the power play. Keeley tries to steal it away. He'll get to it and chip it ahead. Good hard-working play there from number 21. Played out by Nick Kitola. Where's number 7 for the Zydeco? And they'll look to move it around here on the power play. They step onside with it. And the shot blocked there by Johansson. They'll swipe at it. It goes high in the air and then falls back down. Inside the line, long shot in on Babick. He's got it. He gave up a rebound. It was there for the taking, and then he was able to see it and put it down in the corner. Farmer involved in a battle. He gets chopped from behind. And near side, not out of the zone. 55 left to go on the Zydeco power play. Schnopp is racing to it in the far side corner. We'll see if he can get there first. They'll battle for it. Out towards center. And it's Chris Mott. Mott circling around the zone. He's got plenty of time, plenty of space. White got upended, and Mott carrying the puck was calling for one. And a frustrating slap shot from Mott will send it down the rink. 4:40 left to go on this Bobo's Deli and Grill the third period with time left on the penalty kill. Out to center it goes. White could get to this one. 21 left to go on the penalty kill. And pushed down the rink there from White. So we're under 5 minutes left to go in the Culver's third period. White comes crashing in, looking to take it away. Out to center. Hanley steps up, plays it ahead, then has to take it back. Looks to shoot it forward. He does. And that'll just about do it here for the 5-on-4. Controlled by Larwood. Out of the box is LaBelle, and we play even strength hockey at 5-on-5. Babick went out to play it. It goes into the far side corner now, back behind the goal. Wrap chance. LaBelle's to it. Could be a 2-on-1 here. LaBelle with fresh legs out of the box. Josh LaBelle onside. Butita calling for it. Got it. Fired it wide of the net as it goes off the inboards. John Butita open, looking to make it a 2-goal lead again. Right now it's 4-3. Towards center. And the Zydeco look to chip it out. They do, and Connor Craig is back to collect it. Here's Craig. Charges up the wing. Takes a step onside, still with it there, nicely done. And we'll try to create some space. He does, plays across the zone. The pass will split the defenders, and it's Mott and Garcia. Garcia going back to collect it. Up it goes to Salak. Salak and Butita trying to find it here. Zydeco possessing the defensive blue line. They move it up the rink quickly, in behind Babic. As the Thunderbirds have to chase this one down here in the defensive territory. Back behind the goal still. Pushed along the near side. Good reverse check from Salak. He felt the pressure coming. Stick goes down, flying across the zone. That was Dumas. Can't pick it up. Long shot through traffic block. Thunderbirds will find it here behind the goal line. They've got room to go. It's Farmer charging ahead quickly. Farmer slides to the cross. Jan Salak tried to return it to him. Farmer now looking to retreat. He gets back and makes sure that the play is safe. Off the backhand, there he goes. Down the boards, into the corner. Behind the goal line, near side, Garcia. He'll capture possession of the puck. He'll have a look with 2.5 minutes to play in the third. Here's Kitola. They'll look to drag the puck through center. He's still carrying it. Now it's back behind the goal line. Behind the net. Zach White applying pressure, trying to take it away. Look out, they wanted to center it. Zach White, he'll try to find it. And Kramer looking for it. Fans wanted a penalty as there's a Zydeco player who may have got struck with a high stick. He was taken down, and we continue 5-on-5. Found here by Twin City in the far side corner. Out to Roman Kramer. Kramer takes a look, chips it ahead. 1 minute, 45 seconds left in regulation time here on Saturday night. Twin City in search of win number 20 on the season. Across the zone, and it's back to the neutral zone. A 1-goal win last night. 3-2 is the final. Along the near side boards. Zydeco have it. Here they come. Top of the near side circle shot. Shot blocked by LaBelle. Kramer gets it to White. Kramer on a line change. Now Zach White steps onside. Fires one wide of the goal. Jason Gallant, he'll look for it. Move back out to the neutral zone. Continuous action. 65 seconds left to go. Long shot in on Babic. It's underneath him. He's got it.
It's time for a final.
62 seconds left in regulation. We'll take one final media timeout and be back for the finish.
2 pillows, endless possibilities. At Cotton & Crate, we make it easy to refresh your home season after season. Our 18x18 and 12x20 pillow sizes pair perfectly with our seasonal collections of interchangeable covers, so you can refresh your style anytime without cluttering up your closet. We're proud to team up with the Twin City Thunderbirds, celebrating hometown spirit and the comfort of home on and off the ice. Thunderbirds fans, enjoy $5 off your order at cottonandcrate.com with the code TBIRDS 5 off. Cotton & Crate, 2 pillows, endless possibilities.
Maple Chase Golf and Country Club offers the best in recreational amenities in the Triad. Come enjoy a meal at the Pinebrook Bar and Grill, relax by our pool and cabana, and gear up at the Pro Shop while sharpening your skills on our 9,000 square foot putting green, and play around on our 18-hole Ellis Maples designed championship golf course. You can find out more at maplechasecc.com. That's maplechasecc.com.
Zydeco wins.
62 seconds to play. The net is empty. Extra attacker time following the media timeout. Thunderbirds in front by a goal. Nate Keeley will take this defensive zone face-off. They do not throw it down. They want everyone to hold their position. Now it's down. Keeley wins it to LaBelle. LaBelle turns, flips a long one towards the net. Oh, it just missed. It just missed, and icing will be the call with under 57 seconds now left to go. They'll do it again. here we are in a familiar spot, similar to last night. Last night it was 3-2, tonight it's 4-3. Healy goes back to the dot. And this time it's one away from it. 6-on-5 attack. Zydeco going to work. Long shot. They got the tip, and it falls down in the corner. 47 seconds to play. And high in the air it goes. Back into the Zydeco's defensive end. Good clear. 40 seconds remaining in the Culver's third period. Thunderbirds in front, 4-3. Net is empty. Extra attacker time. 6-on-5. A good check from Jacob Snopp at center. Found by Jack Johansson. Looks to clear. Hits to the line. Not out. He'll look to try it again, but the Zydeco have it in the far side corner. 23 seconds left up top. Long shot. Save made by Boris Babic. It falls down. He'll try to fight for possession. Keeley to it, out to center it goes. This will go way down the rink, and it should not be icing. The linesman agrees. No icing. 8 seconds left. Long play to center ice. Zydeco offside here. In on goal. Babic's got it. He'll flip it towards the goal. In it goes, but they blew the whistle. Boris Babic, just a whistle away there. He slaps his stick in frustration along the glass. Oh. Face-off outside of the zone here. We just got 1 second left. That was almost the second goalie goal call of my career. The last face-off, there it is. The game is over. The Thunderbirds win it. 4-3, the final score tonight. Twin City has won a game for the 20th time this season. 20-22-1, now the record 11-26-6, now the record for the Zydeco. So the Thunderbirds win this one by a goal. They had a 4-1 lead in the third period. A couple of back-to-back scoring plays from Baton Rouge made it 4-3. But in the end, same result as last night, a regulation win by 1 goal. And of course that means that the deficit to 4th place in PD is now down to 5. There will be one final game in the league tomorrow. It's right here at 4:05. If Twin City can win it, they'll be 2 points down. And winning it tonight, number 35, Boris Babic. Babic has won a game for the 50th time in his FPHL career. Congratulations to Boris Babic, who got the job done tonight. All right, they have turned off the camera on the video side, so we will bring you the graphic that just says audio only, but we will come back for a post-game show. We will step aside here in our break, and we're going to come back to give you the post-game show after another Thunderbirds victory. This one, the final score of 4-3. One last break, and we're back for the post-game.
Flo Cadillac is a proud sponsor of the Thunderbirds. Visit 1400 South Stratford Road for a free test drive. Or go online to flowcadillac.com to schedule a sales or service appointment.
And welcome back for the post-game show here inside Raising Cane's at River Center in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. This is Twin City Thunderbirds hockey. Kendall Grayson with you as always. And what a night it was around the FPHL. The Thunderbirds get the job done here. The final score is 4-3. On the out-of-town scoreboard report, we were the final game that got underway. Then we also had some maintenance delays for some glass issues around the building. So we'll check in here now. You're looking at the schedule online if you're watching on YouTube or Facebook. These games are all now finals. Binghamton a 10-2 win on the road against Watertown. Athens wins 4-3 on the road against PD. A 4-3 home win in overtime for Columbus over Monroe. 5-2, Port Huron beats Indiana. And a road win by 2 goals for Blue Ridge over Danbury. 4-2 was the final score in that one tonight. So that's what it looked like across the league. We remind you that coming up here quickly on March the 10th, that is Tuesday from 10 a.m. to noon, the Skate-a-thon is going on, presented by Winston-Salem Hockey Booster Club. And so the information there on the screen for the Skate-a-thon. I mention it all the time. This organization, really provides so many opportunities for you to meet your favorite Thunderbirds players. There's time after the games. There's the Coach Harry show that we have been rotating players throughout the season. All types of really good opportunities. There's going to be a live jersey auction after the game coming up on Friday for the home game. So plenty of opportunities to come out and say hello and meet your favorite Thunderbirds player. We'll take a look at the standings. This is not live. This was going into tonight's game. And the Thunderbirds enter the night with 55. They will now go to 58. PD will stay at 63. So again, the gap is now down to 5. It was 10 to start the weekend. Now it's down to 5. And a regulation win tomorrow, it could be as low as 2 after tomorrow night's game. And so as I mentioned this earlier, what an accomplishment that would be. To go into the weekend down 10, to close that gap back to 2, there's going to be a lot of hockey left. Several of weeks left to be played here. There's going to be a couple of matchups head-to-head against PD and some tough opponents. Also on the horizon, the Thunderbirds will have 3 games next weekend against Athens, who's sitting at the top of the division, and a team that the Thunderbirds have yet to beat this season. And so there's a lot to talk about in the games coming up. Thunderbirds are also going to have 3 home games against Biloxi, who's at the bottom of the division standing. So hard to really predict where this one goes, but all we can do from the Thunderbirds' perspective is go out and try to win as many games as possible and give yourself a chance at it. And so far, they've done that here on the weekend. I mentioned the game coming up on Friday, the home game. That is going to be presented by Gatsby's Pub. The specialty sweaters, they look beautiful, by the way. And we're looking forward to that, celebrating the St. Patrick's Day jerseys. Live auction after the game. But it's also going to be NASCAR night. Every fan in attendance will get a free NASCAR poster. Again, that's coming up on Friday. Home game, 7:35, the time of the puck drop. All right, we will get to tonight's game. And here's what we had for you on the score sheet. Back in period number 1, the Pine Tree Tavern first period is back-to-back power play goals for the Thunderbirds that put this team ahead by 2. So it's Roman Kramer at 8:06 on the power play. Zach White and Josh LaBelle collecting an assist on the game's opening goal. Then John Butita, his turn to score a power play goal, assisted by Chris Mott at 17-13 on the man advantage. Thunderbirds go up 2-0, but Jake Cox and the Baton Rouge Zydeco, they answer back with an even strength scoring play at 18-37. So after the first period tonight, Thunderbirds outshot the Zydeco 13-5. They led it by a goal at 2-1. No scoring plays in the second period. We had a scoreless third period last night between these two teams. We get a scoreless second period tonight, although the Thunderbirds heavily outshot the Zydeco 20-10 during that middle period. In the third period, Connor Craig scores a huge goal to put this team up by 2 to give them some space, some breathing room. I mentioned at the time it felt like we had been playing a 1-goal game for a long time. And finally, a little bit of breathing room. 2-1 the score. Connor Craig scored a power play goal last night. It was the game winner, and he scores that one here tonight to go 3-1. Chris Mott, Josh LaBelle assisted on the play. Then Nate Keeley, he scores now back-to-back games on the weekend. 4-1 is the score, 5:21 the time of the goal. Baton Rouge would put the pressure on, though, with a couple of scoring plays not too far apart. From 9:45 the third period for the first one from Kim Mietinen to Scott Shurik, scoring at 11:27 with a power play goal. That closed the gap to 1, made it the 1-goal game at 4-3. And much like last night, it was the same scenario towards the end. Nets empty, 6-on-5 hockey It's you got to give it everything you have there in the final few minutes. And once again, same result. Thunderbirds get away with a 1-goal win. Boris Babic took a shot at an empty net, and actually it went in with just over a second to play, but they had called an offside and a delayed play over the blue line. Babic gloved it and then went and played it. And so that prevented him from scoring what would have been a goalie goal. And as I mentioned, those are extremely rare. I've only seen one of them. I called a goalie goal from Todd Scott with the Tri-City Storm in a game at the Viero Center in Kearney, Nebraska against the Sioux Falls Stampede. And that clip actually went viral, had over 1 million views. They featured it on a New York Rangers broadcast during the intermission on the MSG network. And so that was a great moment. I'm sad to see personally that Babic couldn't do that. I was sort of laughing as he slammed his stick in frustration. He, the course of his career, you don't really think about that, but he took the opportunity, and it was an offside play that prevented him from scoring a goal here tonight. So we had all kinds of stuff going on. They had some delays on the ice trying to fix the glass. I had a waterfall in front of me from my view, and so thankfully that died down during the third period, but they have put some caution tape down the stairs, so I'm glad that I've got other ways to escape up here. Otherwise, I'd have to climb through that. So it was just a bizarre night tonight, but thankfully we do get the result we were looking for. That's a regulation win for this team here on the road. We are the only show in town, so to speak, tomorrow, the only game in the league. So we'll see you right back here tomorrow, 4:05 Eastern Time, the time of the puck drop, 3:05 here in the Central Time Zone. It will be a 3:45 Eastern pregame show for the broadcast tomorrow. You can catch us again on YouTube, Facebook, Sportfeed, and our longtime audio and radio partners at WTOB Radio. We have the time change tonight, so that will make sure everyone pays attention to that. We're going to have a time change traveling back home tomorrow, but the clock will move ahead an hour tonight also. So thanks everyone for tuning in, as you always do. What a wild night this was, but we'll come back and do it again tomorrow. So the final score tonight is the Zydeco 3 and the Thunderbirds 4. Kendall Grayson signing off from the Raising Cane's River Center here in Baton Rouge. We'll speak again tomorrow, 4:05, the time of the puck drop. Thunderbirds win this one, 4-3.